Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight we have to talk about Carnage coming to America. Save yourself. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Need to make money ASAP. That's what we have to talk about tonight. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, I want to thank you so much for being here in the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream, where it's members only that can be in the chat room. Everybody else can watch, but only members can be in the chat room on a Wednesday night. So I want to say the first things first. Please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell. And you guys know this is the SSN Nation, and we've talked about this before, where I've said, America's a third world country. You just don't know it yet. And what do third world countries look like? Well, let's just face facts. Infrastructure, dirt roads, or roads that aren't repaired, bridges crumbling, roads crumbling, education out the window. Sparse. When you go to the grocery store, packages shrink while the cost stays the same. Store shelves are empty. Carnage is coming to America, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what that means. You're going to have to save yourself because nobody's coming to save you. So you need to make some money ASAP over the next year, that is. You need to make more. So let's start with the first things first, because, oftentimes there's some opportunities that do occur, and one of them is free Bitcoin. That's right, free crypto Bitcoin mining on your computer, on your iPhone, on your Android phone, on your tablet, on your desktop. All of the devices can be running at the same time using your computer software. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Crypto Tab. I mentioned this a week or two back. The link is down below. It's a browser. It's a separate browser, just like there's a Chrome browser and a Microsoft browser. Firefox, there's a Crypto Tab browser. So use the link down below in the description to sign up and get that added to one of your devices. You don't need anything extra. And oh, by the way, let me just double check I don't know if I can right now, but let me double check, make sure that it is members only chat tonight. Let's see what's happening here. Yes, it is. All right. So if you're new here and you can't get in the chat room, there's a reason why, because it's members only that can be in the chat room tonight. But back to the Crypto Tab. The link is down below. You'll see it. Earn free Bitcoin every day by Bitcoin mining. Now, the beauty of this, you'll be able to share your link with other people and build a mining network. All of you can do it for free. There's no additional cost unless you want boosters to boost up your speed temporarily. Then you can buy an NFT. That's right. But for the meantime, you can start your own network by sharing your link with other people. Free Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. And it went down to $28,000 today. That's right, $28,000. So let me know if you are going to be investing in Bitcoin, not Crypto Tab. The link is down below, but in Bitcoin or crypto right now, it is below 50%, 60%, I believe. It has reached those levels. Do you think it's going to go down further? Well, you guys know what that means. There has to be more carnage in America, meaning the stock market has to go down. The real estate market is going to start going down. Therefore, there's going to be more carnage in America, is what I'm calling this tonight. So just keep that in mind. All right. So, first things first, crypto tabs down below. Next thing, you need to start your own business. You need to take life by the horns. You need to make sure you are the CEO of your life. If that means starting a business in order to get revenue, do it, because that is going to help you in the long run. Yes, I know it's hard when you start a business, but let's just face facts, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to make extra money ASAP. So you might as well start the business. Hopefully it gets rolling in a month or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, but at least you won't be behind the curve 2 years from now or 1 year from now when we are in more of a financial mess as a country in America. So once again, what do? You don't want to run a business out of your home. You want to use Opus Virtual Office. That's right. Opus Virtual Office is just what it sounds like. You have a commercial address. They have their own phone number, or your business will have its own phone number answered by a receptionist or a secretary saying, your company, LLC, how can I help you? That's always a good thing. They can transfer the call to any number that you want. So you could be sitting at your house, sitting at lunch, sitting in traffic, anywhere. The phone call can come in and you can answer the phone. If you don't answer, they'll put it in voicemail. It's that simple. Opus Virtual Office is only $99 per month, and they report to the business credit, which is a good thing. The link is down below in the description. Simple, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we're going to do it. All right. It's that simple. So once again, that's all you have to do. Now, one other thing, it's a business phone number with 411, a business fax number, business commercial address, so you will be able to use it for credit purposes for your business. And there's a link or a promo code down below, YG1, YG as in George, one, the number 1. Use that code to get the admin fee waived. And so therefore you can start out with 99. If you want to prepay a year in advance, you have a reduced amount. If you want to prepay 6 months in advance, you'll have a reduced amount. So Opus Virtual Office, make sure that your residential address, because people are crazy these days, your residential another address. And I see I'm having a little Wi-Fi difficulties tonight, but it's okay. We'll get through this. No problem. So once again, please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell for tonight. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, we're going to keep going, ladies and gentlemen, because after the carnage arrives, that means you're going to need other things. Oh, and by the way, there's carnage that's arriving in the crypto space, because not only are crypto prices going down, I have to make a mention. Some of you may have signed up with COTPS. That COPS, it was going fine for 4 months. Now I've been in for almost 2, but it's been going fine for 4 months. Recently, on Friday, you are not able to withdraw out of COTPS. There was some error with verification codes, and they're saying that the verification code software is sending it too late. So in other words, I believe you have 30 seconds or 60 seconds when you withdraw to enter the code. The code is coming at around 70 or 80 seconds. So you're not able to enter the code, which stops you from being able to withdraw. That is actually what started happening on Friday. It was supposed to be back up today. I don't know for sure if it has happened, because basically I haven't withdrawn, but I probably will try after the live stream. So don't miss Friday night's live stream at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that's when you'll find out if I was able to withdraw from COPS. Anyhow, that's the latest news. There is no link down below for COPS, because if this doesn't get figured out, and Chrome was updated recently. So whenever Chrome is updated, that kind of sometimes messes with certain companies and certain servers. Anything can happen. So once again, I'm hoping that's all there is to it, because there have been people that have been able to make large sums of money, and you can refer other people as well to help them make large sums of money. All right. So how do we make it out of carnage in America financially? Well, another way is if you're earning money, making money while you sleep, or making money doing nothing. That was the beauty of things like the Animal Farm that just came out, or the piggy bank that just came out from the Drip Network. That is actually a good thing, right? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But if you can earn 3%, 4%, 5%, 6%, in a short period of time, whether it's a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, hopefully you can compound it within the month a few times. Now you're doing something, ladies and gentlemen. That is the beauty of Drip Animal Farm, node projects, DAOs, is because if you can earn 1% through 6% or 7% per day, that's where you want to be. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. Let me see who's in the house right now. Moses Tillman is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream, where it's members only that's in the chat room. And that's why he has the icon next to his name. So I want to thank you so much for being here, Moses Tillman. And he has his tagline: good evening, SSN fam. Good evening to you, Moses Tillman. And then he's missing a little thing. Let's effing go. That's what I'm using it as, Moses Tillman, because today it's F average, be legendary. And he's saying, let's effing go. That's how I'm calling it, LFG. Moses Tillman coming with the hardcore. Professor Auntie Val is in the house. Welcome. Well, we're going to have intermittent tonight, but she's here with her tagline: good evening, fam. She has the heart showing. She has the strength and the support showing. Thank you so much once again, Professor Auntie Val, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Auntie Val says, got the notification and trailer. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Who received the notification? Once again for being here. And Moses Tillman says, I'm here for a good time, but it might not be for a long time. That's okay, Moses Tillman. It's always a good time when you're here. So thank you so much for your support. You, Professor Auntie Val, and everybody else watching this, don't forget to smash the like button, because the YouTube gods do not like to show that we're in the house. It's okay. We're still making the show go on because we have messages. So I was with the Opus Virtual Office. I mentioned that. The link is down below. Get your free admin. And we're talking about Carnage coming to America. And you're going to have to make more money ASAP. You can't sit idly by, ladies and gentlemen. Inflation's not going away. Prices going higher is not going away. Cost of goods and services are rising. Cost of groceries is going to continue to rise, and food costs are going to increase. Store shelves are going to be half empty here, half empty there. You're not going to be able to get exactly what you want. And then there's going to be a run every now and then on certain products. There's just no way around it. So survival of the fittest, stack your cupboards full of goods. That's all I can say. Moses Tillman says, I got the notification. That's 2 people that has received the notification. So thank you so much. Now, I was getting ready to talk about the carnage that has happened in crypto as well. It's been going down. It's down to 28,000 for Bitcoin. That would mean other coins are going down. And I was referring to, there's projects that we can get into, get rewards, that 1%, that 2%, that 3%. And I was mentioning Drip Network, even though I don't believe I have that link down below for Drip Network. I do not. But, oh, this is interesting. But I will add it. And I see there's a little error down here on my page. That's interesting. Very interesting. Okay. That's not cool. So here we are. I need to do something in the background. But what I wanted to get at is the Drip Network, Piggy Bank, Animal Farm, all of that is earning anywhere from 1% to 3% a day, maybe even more. So I'm going to add the link down below here shortly. And that is something to consider because we have Joshua Felder. There, you can only be referred to these, ladies and gentlemen. And the first link is Drip Network. That's Joshua Felder. That's 1% per day that you're going to earn on it. So I'm going to put that link also down below in the description. And you can check out the Animal Farm, which has the piggy bank now. And you can earn more than 1% per day with the piggy bank. So both links down below in the description, and it is crypto. They are running on the BNB Binance chain. So you at least need one BNB to get started. So that's not too bad. But what I want to discuss is something that I mentioned before. And Moses Tillman said it exactly right. Shortage on baby formula of all things. Can you believe this, ladies and gentlemen? This is 2022. And baby formula, a necessity, is not available. How is this even possible? Seriously? Is there like only one company that can make baby formula now? This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen. When companies make profits, they have shareholders, and then they have to make even more profit. And so then they move to places like Mexico or combine into one company. And so now it's consolidated. So you only have one or two companies that make the product. That's not good. That is a declining economy, because what a inclining, I'll call inclining reverse of declining, you call China. Why? Because people, manufacturers from around the world go to plants in China. America used to be China. That's literally what it is. All the factories are there because labor is cheaper. And manufacturing generally goes to where labor is cheapest. So that's all I'm trying to say. So America is on the decline regarding manufacturing. Why would anybody manufacture in America and have to pay somebody $15, $20, $30 an hour, maybe more, when you can just sign up with the Asian company where they pay people little to nothing? And what I mean, $3, $2, $1 a day. So once again, that is something, this is going to bug me for a while. I know this internet intermittent, but all I'm trying to say is, why would somebody do that? And that's why America is going to have a very hard time spending all this money, spending all this taxpayers' money, and not accomplishing anything, because they are not setting up any infrastructure to reproduce any money. You need to do that yourself, because if nobody's going to help you, you're going to have to get compounding interest every day, every week, whatever you can get. All right. So stay tuned. If you want some compound money, SSN Group Economics opens up Friday, and it's going to open up Friday night during the live stream. And it will be on the SSStopStrugglingNow.com website. And the first 5,000 of donation can only go in. It's not, I call it donations. But anyhow, business opportunity, group economics, 0% to 5% per week. We know it's not going to be 0%, but I'm just going to say that I want to give a range because I don't have any guarantees, but it'll be 0 to 5% every week. That part's going to be liquid. You guys will know more about it because I will actually run a video probably on Friday. A video will come out, and then Friday on the live stream, we'll talk about it because some people may have questions. So you guys pay attention, because we're going to be doing that. And that gives you some revenue coming in, some profits coming in. That's what we're trying to do here. All right. Let's see what else we got. Moses Tillman, tell Joshua to do an airdrop. I'm under his link. There we go, Moses Tillman. I'll let you know. I don't know about the airdrop, though. The only thing is I don't know Drip Network because I never signed up with Drip Network. Remember, it was $100 a coin. Then it dropped to 28, I believe, was the last time we looked last week. And something tells me we might even be lower than that with their coin price. So I'm sitting there. In fact, why don't I go look? Let's go look at the Drip price. Oh, yeah, it's taken another beating. We are under 30 apparently now for the coin price. So this may be worthwhile to get in. If we're in the teens, yes, Josh, Moses Tillman is saying it's $18. This is seriously crazy. I'm going to share this on the screen. I thought I did, but apparently I didn't. Look at this, $16.48. With a 3% increase today, it went down to $15.90. So I just been watching this just drop from the crypto crash. It was 100. $85%, 84%, 86%, 83%, whatever that percentage is, it's in the 80% drop. That's a long drop. And most crypto has dropped in this vicinity, 80, 90, even some 99%. Like the power nodes, 99% drop. One time it was $27. It's now 70 cents or 60 cents. You just Is there two different things? Let's go check. I don't know if there's another drip price. Let's go look. Drip. Oh yeah, that's it. There's drip. Is there a drip finance? I didn't know that. Let me go see what this is. Huh. All right. Just giggles and grins, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's keep it moving. Now, the other things that we have going on here is that not only have I been talking about this rewards, because just as you can get 1% a day, the one I mentioned, like April 2nd, so that means it was probably at the end of March. It was pre-sale for the neighbors. That's right, the neighbors. That is a metaverse play, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody loved the metaverse a few months ago. And then they figured out, wait a minute, these guys don't actually have play to earn games, and you can't use those NFTs. What's going on? Well, prices have dropped. That's what's going on. So once again, the neighbors per coin, you simply needed 4 tokens to buy a condo. And when you did that, the condo would give you 3% a day on the neighbor coin. Now look at the neighbor token. It went up all the way to 130, 140. Everybody was doing the happy dance. And then look at here now. It's below pre-sale price, but you can still buy a condo that's going to give you 3% at the 4 tokens. So now instead of the 4 tokens costing you $200, 4 tokens, it looks like going to cost you $160. And you get 3% per day reward for holding the condo. Whoa. NFT. Okay, this is interesting and disturbing. Wow. Something just happened that I did not like. I just got something on my screen that was crazy. Hold on a second. That wasn't good. All right. So anyhow, back to the program. The neighbors, a metaverse play. And again, a condo is 4 tokens. So it's 4 times $38.81. So that's roughly 160, a little under. And you get 3% of the neighbor price per day. But the thing that I like that they do is they give you 3% of the neighbor. So in other words, the first day you're going to have 0.03 neighbor as the reward. The next day is 0.06 neighbor. The next day 0.09 neighbor. So it goes by the increases of neighbor. So the price of neighbor will come into play as to your ultimate value, but it's not based on what the coin price is every day or every week or any set time. It's based on you're still going to get 0.03 for owning a condo every day. Now, a house or a home, it requires 7 neighbor tokens. It's on the Avalanche network, ladies and gentlemen, AVAX. All right, just to let you know. So the point is, there's no referral links for the neighbor, but it's a metaverse play. So a home is 0.06, which means 6% per day, but it's still treated as a reward as 0.06. Then it's 1.2. I believe, if that's right. No, it's 0.12, then 0.18, then 0.24. That's how it went. All right. And so you're getting that 6% of neighbor pricing, but not, so to speak, a coin like Stronger, but you're getting 6% or 0.06 reward every day. So when the price was up to over $100, that would be cool if you have one neighbor. That would be $100. Right now, one neighbor is only $38.90. But you still are going to have the same reward number and value. So that's a little different. But here's the twist. Since it's a metaverse play, you're going to be buying furniture, pools, as in swimming pool. You're going to be buying TVs. You're going to be buying pool tables. You're going to be buying all this, right? I don't know why you would, but you're going to be buying it. They give you a NFT boost. All of these are NFTs. They give you a boost when you're buying furniture. So on certain furnitures, they're going to add like 0.003. They've been giving me this 0.03 stuff, but I'm like, you would just buy a condo. That doesn't make any sense. But anyhow, it's really supposed to be, according to their white paper, 0.003 is the boost for some furniture. Other furniture, it could be 0.004. It depends on what you're buying. And so therefore, now you have an NFT. So you have 2 NFTs instead of only getting 0.03. Now you're getting 0.033, let's say, or 0.06. Now you're getting 0.063 instead of getting 1.1 for having a mansion, which takes 10 tokens. So right now, pre-sale, the mansion costs $500. Right now, the mansion costs $389. It's still worth 0.1 of neighbor. You add one of those furnitures, another NFT, you get a little boost. So instead of 0.1, it's 0.103 every day. And then you can buy, like I said, you can buy a stove, a refrigerator, a couch. And anybody, by the way, if you're in the neighbors as a metaverse, there's one thing that happened. If you got something in pre-sale, I suggest you go to NF Trade. N as in Nancy, F as in Frank, trade.com, I believe. And you need to look at my NFT. And you need to make sure it's it'll be in your account. Once it's in your account, then you can attach it at your neighbors to earn additional rewards at theneighbors.io. And the neighbors is spelled, you guys can see it on the screen maybe. Yep. You see how it's spelled. So theneighbors.io. All right. nftrade.com for the neighbors to get your boost. So everybody that did pre-sale, you have free sofa or some furniture and you get a free boost, ladies and gentlemen. So again, you guys knew about the pre-sale before it came out. I during pre-sale. Now, it's sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi, but it's not good. So anyhow, I'm on Wi-Fi tonight, not direct hookup, which I got to get direct hookup here because this isn't going to work. But anyhow, what I'm trying to say is the Neighbors has turned out to still be going forward. They still haven't entered their game metaverse, but they're giving you these bonuses, and they have licenses and other bonus materials that you can use if you want to buy them. But then you're required to have more than, well, for the first one, you just need 2 properties for the license, but those sold out. Then you need 4 properties if you want to get the next license, and which is like a farming license or a boating license or something like that. But those have boost as well. So some people are earning one, and for their mansion, they're already earning 1.13% or 0.13 neighbor every day. That's pretty awesome. And when this turns into metaverse, you're going to have to find out what's going to happen. All right. Are you on VPN? That was a little scary. Yeah, Auntie Val, I am not on a VPN, which, by the way, I should be. But the point is, I'm not on a VPN. I'm on the Wi-Fi. Oh, but there's something going on like that. So that was scary. I'm not on a VPN. Make sure your MetaMask is locked and closed. Let me go check this out. Is there a way? Let me see. I didn't even think of that. So I'm trying to find out right now. And for some reason, I'm not getting it to pop up. Thank you, Auntie Val, for mentioning it. Yeah, it's locked. So we're good. So thank you for mentioning that, just so I can check. But no, not on a VPN. But then you saw what came up on the screen, right? Yeah, you saw that writing from Middle East. And I was like, what the hell is this? I'm definitely not in the Middle East. And I'm not using a VP. Well, I don't know where this Wi-Fi is going, but there's something weird that just happened. So yeah, I don't have anything really open, so we're all good that way. So thank you for mentioning that. But anyhow, the Neighbors, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. It could be worth it. Don't get you already see what's happening with my Wi-Fi is risky right now, and you also really see what's happening with projects. They are being decimated, and you all know what happened with Terra Luna. All right, there's still people that are. I swear, I'm sitting there watching people talk about they're going to buy the Terra Luna over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I just can't. I can't believe it. Um, And then the CEO is saying, we're going to make a comeback. I'm like, I don't understand. You guys printed up more money just like a government, acting like a government, printing up more Luna, over 6 billion. I mean, this is insanity. I don't know how you're going to come back when you have all this supply, because who's going to be buying it? That's crazy. The laws of supply and demand, but they're saying they're going to burn some Luna. And I'm like, okay, well, y'all should have already thought about that before this happened. But there's still people that believe that they're willing to buy it now. I don't know where you can buy it at. There's only a few places, and they're willing to take the gamble. I can't say anything bad, because at this point, even if you did $10, $20, that's still a lot. And then if it did come back to $1, then you made a lot of money. So I can't blame anybody for spending a little bit of money, beer money on it, just as a gamble. It's 35 minutes in. Let me know, who do you think's going to take it tonight between Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks? They're playing it should be at Golden State. So let me know who you think. Any sports aficionados in the house, who do you think's going to win tonight, and who do you think's going to win the series? All right, between Golden State and the Dallas Mavericks. Golden State Warriors, Dallas Mavericks. Let me know who you think is going to win tonight and who do you think is going to win the series. Okay, Carnage is coming to America. You're going to have to save yourself and need to make more money ASAP. And by the way, speaking of Carnage in America, you know what starts to happen? Think about this. There's people that are at the Chase Center in San Francisco who, for playoff tickets, are going to be spending $400, $500, $600, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 to go watch a sporting event for a couple of hours, then spend for overpriced drinks and food. One day. What happens when there's carnage in America? All of a sudden, you start seeing empty seats in sporting events because that's a luxury item, ladies and gentlemen. People are going to say, well, wait a minute now. I can't be spending no $300, $400, $500 per game to go check out my team. You guys can keep that. I'm not going to sign up for that annual renewal, the team pass for all year. We're not going to do that. So that's also one of the areas that you're going to start losing some money. Or shall I say sports teams and venues, because people aren't going to want to pay that. Just like people don't want to pay overpriced property values. Don't want to do that either. So what's going to happen? Real estate prices are going to start falling. If you haven't paid attention, they will be falling soon to a neighborhood near you. Stay tuned. It's coming. All right. I'm calling a Heat versus Mavs rematch. Got to pull from my Miami Heat. Professor Auntie Val, not knowing who my team is. It is the Miami Heat. That's why I couldn't say who you're going to take, because I was partial. Not between me and you, but I didn't put in Miami and Celtics, who are going to be playing tomorrow night. But yeah, Heat for the win. If we're going to start, in fact, the Heat should be in the finals. I just, because Al Horford's hurt and they're missing somebody else too for the Celtics. I expect one of them to come back, but it would not matter. The Miami Heat match up with the Celtics all the way around, and they have better team defense all the way around. 10 deep is the Heat, so I can't see how the Celtics are going to win it, especially in a series. But there has been a few surprises off the Celtics bench on Monday's game, but I just think they had the youngsters were a little excited and they were like pumped, but I don't expect them to be doing what they were doing on the Celtics. Some of those guys who rarely got playing time and now they're just knocking down threes. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm referring to the Celtics. They're some of the players that came off the bench and ended up starting. They played a hell of a good game for the most part. And now, without Marcus Smart, that's who was missing. So the big three that they have are formidable, but the problem is the Heat match up with them. The Heat have all kind of players, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". Perfect. And it's also perfect for when they play the Golden State Warriors in the finals. Because they're small balled already, but they're defensively better. And I'll just give you something else that's very, very interesting. When the Heat plays against the Western Conference, traditionally, I don't know what happened this year, but traditionally, because the way they play defense, the Western Conference usually gets thumped a few times during the year. So I don't expect no difference, because the Heat have pretty much the best defensive team defense besides the team that got bounced, Phoenix. They also were one of the top defensive teams, but did not show it in the playoffs. That's for sure. But anyhow, let's see what we got. Live by the three, die by the three. Exactly. That's exactly right. And I'm old school. I like defense that the Heat play, because they pressure you at the three-point line oftentimes. There's like the philosophy for all NBA teams. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not a coach, but I'll tell you what I'd be telling my players in this day and age. I'm running you off the three. You're not shooting threes, because most players these days don't have a mid-range game. So you're not shooting threes. You're going to have to dribble, drive, and pull up. There's hardly any Chris Pauls around that can pull up all day. The DeMar DeRozans, that's rare these days. Steph Curry's, that's rare. Jimmy Butler's, that's rare, where you can drive and shoot 10-footer, 12-footer, 8-footer all day long. That's rare. So I'd rather have these 3-point specialists trying to dribble in front of the 3-point line all day, every day. You wouldn't even be getting hardly any of them things off. I'd be yanking my guys out saying, hey, man, I don't really care. Make sure that dude ain't shooting a three. We got help on the inside when they're going to the rack. Just do what you got to do. Make sure they're not shooting threes. I want them shooting twos. Wi-Fi still acting up. No love. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. Let me change some things up here just in case I'm having a little interference with some devices. Maybe that's helping it. Okay, exactly. Force them to the paint. It's a wrap. Exactly, Auntie Val. That's what we like to do because that's the team defense that the Heat have implemented is just awesome. And I got to give credit to the Celtics when I did see a few plays that they used, which they took advantage by throwing in. They moved to the ball so fast that they're able to make two quick passes, and a guy's going to be wide open because the Heat rotate. And they caught him mid-rotation for about 10 points in the last game. So I did see some hope. So it's going to be very, very interesting what happens tomorrow night with the adjustments. So anyhow, I can't see nothing but the Heat winning on one side. She's saying the Mavs. I'm taking Golden State simply because Golden State is just like Golden State and the Mavs. They match up. What I mean by that, size-wise, there's no team there's no 7-footer that the Mavs are going to bring in to dominate, which is one of the weaknesses that the Golden State has. But flipping on the other side, Golden State actually does have Mr. Wiseman, who's like a 7-footer that can actually be played in the game to help them win. And also, I don't think you can out small ball Golden State. Golden State, they have been doing this generally for 7-8 years. And they added a couple more pieces. So I don't see how these guys can get by them in 7 games, the Mavs. I just don't see it. And the same thing happened last series when they had Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are going to be a problem from now on. So Golden State better be stepping on the gas this year because this will be the last year that they will have a shot in the finals. Unless something catastrophic happens to one of the key players at Grizzlies, they play D. They're literally a version of the Golden State Warriors in 2013, 2012. That's who the Grizzlies are. And if Ja Morant wouldn't have gotten hurt, it might have been a problem. But nonetheless, those guys are coming, so you better do some damage now. Whoever's going to be in the finals and getting there now, you're going to have to try to win this thing. All right, so let's go. Yep, not going to talk about Celtics tactics. This is a family show. Exactly. Hey, the Celtics is a storied franchise on the parquet. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The ghost of the Boston Garden, even though this is the new garden, the ghost of the Boston Garden. There is no ghost at the Boston Garden. It's called referees. Let's get real. Man, you should see some of them old school games, man. It used to irritate where they're calling these phantom fouls. It was crazy at opportune moments. Yeah. So don't worry. The ghost of the Boston Celtics will be showing its ugly head T minus 24 hours. I'm sure they're going to get a few calls that they should not tomorrow because we all know if you go 2-0 basically in basketball series, you normally lose like 85 to 90% of the time. I don't know the actual number, but it's high. There is a team that blew a 2-0 lead, and I don't know which one it was, but there was a team recently in this playoff that blew the 2-0 lead. So just letting you know, but it's around 85 to 90% once you get 2-0 that you win. And in fact, Golden State's one of those teams that blew a 2-0 lead, by the way, in the finals. Blew a 3-1 lead in the finals. The year they won 73 or 74 games. Crazy. All right. Enough of the hoops. But sports actually teaches you how to compete. It also helps you more than you would think if you're playing sports, because you have to be strategic, just like in business, just like with your investments. Just like using your money and spending your money, you have to be strategic, especially when you have Carnage coming to America. And once again, if I haven't mentioned this, Carnage looks like food shortages. So that means you may want to stock up, ladies and gentlemen. That could also mean electrical shortage. So you might need some batteries or generators. That would help out greatly as well. So think about all this. You better get some things in order. And gasoline, maybe even in the some 5-gallon tank gas tanks or something. Whatever you got to do, get some propane standing by in case you're going to get one of these propane camping type ovens so you can actually cook if electricity's out. Heaters, fans. I mean, think about all this right now while it's cheap. If cheap is a good word. I'm just saying, while there's availability, it's cheap. As soon as there's a lack of availability, prices rise. You know how they gouge us when there's a crisis. All right. So, exactly. It's a lot like hurricane season prep. Exactly, Auntie Val. Professor Auntie Val, thank you so much for mentioning that. That's exactly right. So you got to be prepared, ladies and gentlemen. And also you have to start thinking about what's going to happen financially. If things go bad, you might have that 6-month reserve. You might have that 10-month reserve. What happens if it's what happens if it's longer than 10 months? Think about that. Everybody thought the Great Depression when they said, "Oh, we're just going to have a bank holiday. You'll be able to get your money in a few days." Okay, 1 day turns to 2, 2 days turns to 3, 3 days turns to 4. All of a sudden, it's panic. No food, no money. Next thing you know, the stock market drops 30, 40, 50%. That's staying level or going down. So that can't get you anything. You can't sell. You're going to sell at a loss. Can't get your money because the bank is having a problem giving people money. In fact, you can just kick money around because there's an inflationary situation that happens. So the cost of everything is too much. That took like 3, 4, 5, 6 years, ladies and gentlemen. Famine. That's right. A long time when you're looking for water and food. All right. So keep those things in mind. Now, let's get down to some other things, because down below, in case you're new here and can't understand what's going on, you're trying to be in the chat room. Tonight is SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream where it's members only that can be in the chat room, those with the icon. And that's why you can't be in the chat room, unfortunately. But on Friday nights at 9-10 p.m., you can be in the chat room then. All right. So just letting you know, but please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. We were talking about rewards with the neighbors. It's a metaverse play. There's a lot of metaverse plays. In fact, if you guys would have been paying attention to the Twitter feed, that's right, the Stop Struggling Now Twitter feed, or shall I say on Twitter, because stop is too long when you add the struggling now. So it's Struggling Now on the Twitter feed, or you can use the link at the very bottom to sign up for our social media, please. And you would have saw Powerful Dragons NFT. That's right. They announced that there will be staked, meaning you're going to earn rewards just by holding the NFT, and they are making a game for the dragons. Dragons have armor, dragons have weapons, they have certain features. They're currently $50. USDC, I believe, is what they're using to buy an NFT, but they're staked. And when they make their game, you're going to be able to loan your game out to earn money from renting it. You're going to be earning money from the stake feature. They're talking a good game. It's not out yet, though. The staking hasn't started, but they just made an announcement that they're going to be staking. And I don't know if that's going to be in the next 7 days, 10 days, or a month. But they talked about staking 2 or 3 months ago, but it wasn't at this magnitude. Now they're saying staking is literally going to be coming soon. $50. PowerfulDragon.com, or is it PowerfulDragons.com? Either way, don't get to choose. Now, you can buy them somewhere, but I'm not fully sure if NF Trade is the actual spot, which is NFT, but it's NF Trade. They may be selling dragons there, but I don't know if you can buy them there. But nonetheless, they're staked, which is an NFT. I don't know what the staking is going to entail, but that could be another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8%. Play to earn game. And like I said, so that's another one that I haven't really talked about because, I dabble in all kind of little things with crypto. So I don't tell you everything that I'm involved in, but I'm involved with Powerful Dragons. In fact, I actually have 3 of them just because they were so cheap. At one time, it was 50 FTM. Well, FTM dropped. So now they just changed it to USDC since it's more of a stable coin because they want to sell them for $50. Also, they use power tokens. Power token dropped to below $1 and they still had 50. So then I bought another one. I was like, okay, for $37.50 or $35, I'll buy another one. So that's how I ended up with 2. And then for the hell of it, I did 3. I can't remember the price on it, but it was $50 or less. And I might have bought 2 when it was $35. And then I have 3 total. So that's why when they said staking, I was like, oh, that's beautiful, because if I can get 1, 2, 3% per day or more, I'm happy. If I can actually stake and I can rent, and I have 3 of them and I can rent all of them, that would be sweet too. That means money's coming in. This has potential. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if they're going to be able to make a completion of their project. Remember, all of this is like startups. So we don't know. All kind of issues. Been spending the day balancing a new bear market portfolio separate from regular portfolio to DCA on solid projects while the prices are low and getting lower. Exactly, Professor Auntie Val. She's actually doing that. You have to do that when you're the CEO of your life, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to get into crypto, stocks, it doesn't matter, gold, silver, precious metals, start your own business. You have to do research that fits what you want to do. So she's rebalancing her portfolio during a bear market. If fair enough, that's what everybody should be looking at. You got to go to the safer places. That's why people were putting their money into stable coins, including Luna. And people were like, oh my God, I put in a lot of my crypto into Luna, and then it drops in one day from whatever it was, $1 to 10 cents. Just blew a whole bunch of people's portfolio and money out the water. And this is something that I was talking about Monday or Friday, where you are investing in these crypto projects and all of a sudden the money is gone. Millions of dollars that would have been in the crypto space is wiped out. So that meant if a person was just keeping a stable coin, and I'll use a simple $1 million, and then they could have used part of their $1 million to invest in other projects, but instead it goes to zero. So now that is taken out of the crypto market. And if you have 100, 200, 500 people like that, you're taking out millions, billions of dollars out of crypto going to zero. And that's a problem. That's almost like printing money in America. That's going to cause a havoc on the rest of the market, just like it's happening right now. So that's why you have to rebalance. That is very good advice from Professor Auntie Val. That's what we should be doing, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Just keep that in mind. Okay. Let me mention, get your free stocks from Robinhood and Webull. Those are down below. The links are down below the video in the description. I'm about to add the usuals because everybody knows, in case you're new here, Coinbase, the free $10 of Coinbase. It's going to be down below in the description about, let's call it 30 seconds. All right. Because I'm going to add to that. And then some of you may be new here. We have SSN Lifestyle memberships coming soon. You're going to be able to make business opportunity investments there, but that's a membership. We have a thing called the Ring of Fire. That's going to be very special, where as a member, only certain membership groups will be able to invest in the projects. And if you are an SSN Lifestyle member, please double check your emails. You need to make sure that your account is up to date. All right. Because we will be giving out bonus money, and an email was sent out the last 2 or 3 days, but bonus pool money only goes to the 4 memberships. If you have a free membership, you do not receive bonus pool money. All right. So you still will receive commission for signing up other people or sending people over to buy products. That is still good. But when it comes to the bonus pool and when it comes to business opportunities, the free affiliate or referral marketer cannot be in those programs. So anyhow, that's just for starters. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't signed up, the link is also down below in the description. So you can go check out SSN Lifestyle. That will be very interesting because Fingernails to Go, Ring of Fire, that will be coming up. And we will have another one as well, which has to do with another business opportunity. So that's going to be an awesome, awesome situation. All right. So you guys have learned a few things today. It's 57 minutes in. Rebalancing your portfolio, whether it's a stock portfolio, a crypto portfolio, a gold, silver, and precious metal portfolio. It doesn't matter. Real estate portfolio, you're going to have to rebalance. That is one thing that does not change. Don't puff up your chest because you're making tons of money one way, because that stream of revenue could be shut off. So we need to make more than 1 or 2 streams of revenue. All right. So keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to do something here because we're at 58 minutes. Please smash the like button. And I'm going to play a little promo video. And then I'll be right back because I need to get a drink of water. So here we go.
But it would have been so awesome. I was going to soar right through here like this. And, whoops, I'm sorry. Vin Diesel, excuse me. My bad. Big fan, though, Mr. Diesel. Excuse me. And then I'd be flying, and I'd land right. Where do I land?
Oh, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of SSN Lifestyle, that's right. Some of that will also be on the table. Some events and things that go on around the world and around the United States, you will be able to receive tickets, because I'll run special promotions every now and then, because we can't go to all the events, can we? That's right, we can't. But you never know. Somebody might be lucky enough to get into some of these, whether it's special of sporting events or special events that they're going to show on TV. It could be music awards. You just never know. All right. So that is one of the good things about being in the SSN Lifestyle. Also, starting next month, when you go on to the airport, let's just face facts. People like lounges. And so we'll be adding a lounge feature to the SSN Lifestyle, but Founders Club members and Elite Club members are the only ones that will have it. All right, let's just put it plain and simple. One person will get in for free, which will be you. If you have somebody else with you, the program says you're going to have to pay for that second additional person. So that's going to be starting also in the month of June. All right. So SSN Lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming. And I will also start running some videos on that channel for SSN Lifestyle only. Won't be mentioning Stop Struggling Now or SSN Nation because that's a paid membership opportunity all across the board. All right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what else we got going on. All right. So we're going to keep continuing. Here we are, hour in. So once again, just please make sure if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell because for whatever reason, we have a problem with YouTube sending out notifications. We also have a problem for YouTube letting people know the live stream has even started. So just saying, make sure you sign up for the newsletter also down below in the description. That way you receive an email and you also will receive special messages every now and then, but it's not designed to be a marketing tool. It's just designed for when we send out newsletters and maybe every now and then information. Again, everybody that's a member that has the icon next to their name can only be here in the chat room on the Wednesday night lives. Everybody else can watch. But don't forget, Monday and Friday, everybody can be in the chat room. Only members of the channel can join me on the live stream if you ever want to come up and be here in the live stream because you receive the information, the link under the community tab on the YouTube channel page. And you receive 1 or 2 videos per month specifically for you. And you also can send me messages and requests for what you want to talk about as far as topics. So there we go. Memberships have its privileges even here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep going. Carnage is coming to America. You're going to have to save yourself. And like we have F Average Be Legendary, we also have the shirt, Nobody is Coming to Save You. So save yourself, and you need to make more money ASAP. Now, pay down debt. I talked about this on Monday. Make sure you try to pay down your debt. That's the first thing. But number one, please concentrate on revenue coming in the door. We have talked about, you know what? I haven't even checked something. We talk about stocks. We talk about dividends. We want the dividends to keep rolling in, don't we? And so I have to keep bringing up something that's unusual. We have ORC stock, and if the stock market is down, that's a good thing. And you might say, hey, Eric, why is that? Well, you see this price here, 18.31%. That's what you're earning annually on your money. Even though these guys are red, they're still giving out dividends at this 18% annually. That's over 1% per month. In fact, that's 1.5% per month, as long as they're giving out dividends. But the problem is this may be high risk for some because whenever the economy, the financial industry goes bad, sometimes these corporations stop giving out their dividend. So you have to be very careful. Even though I'm presenting this and showing you what they're giving me, they could turn this thing off next week, next month, 3 months from now, 8 months from now. So I'm just saying 18% is pretty hefty, ladies and gentlemen. That is ORC. I've talked about these same ones. I haven't brought up anything new recently, but I'm just going to go to AGNC just to see what's happening there. And they're at 12%. So A as in Apple, G as in George, N as in Nancy, C as in Charles for everybody on podcast. All right. And so, or on Facebook. So just giving you guys some ideas where you can actually earn double digits in dividends on your investment conservatively. Speaking of rebalancing your portfolio. The other thing that we have to talk about, this is something I haven't looked at, but let's go see what gold and silver is doing. Inflation is running rampant for the last 2 years. And the thing is, gold and silver traditionally should have went up. And for some strange reason, it's not rising at 20% or 40% over 2 years. In fact, this is crazy what's happening. Gold at 1,824, even after the stock market has dropped 10%, 20%. Silver near 20, 2166, even though inflation is 20%, 15 to 20% annually for the last 2 years. Both of these should be almost double. And actually, in case you're new here, I'm going to say a few other things about gold and silver. If you would have tracked from 1980 on for gold and silver, first of all, silver should be nowhere near 20, 30, 40, 50. It should be at least double. It should be trading at least $100 an ounce. And actually, I haven't even counted the last 2 years. So let's just call it what it is. It should be trading at around $140, $150 per ounce. And gold, it's absurd. Gold should be somewhere in the neighborhood of close to $10,000. It's crazy. It's crazy right now. So you know it's been manipulated the whole time, ladies and gentlemen. And clearly, if everybody thought that stacking gold and silver when things hit the fan, SHTF, now you're finding out this may not be the answer after all. And you guys know I've been talking about this for 4 years. Hey, we have an anniversary coming up in 4 years, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. This all started in 2018 when I started. Remember, gold and silver were supposed to be a hedge against inflation. All I'm seeing is gold, as inflation goes up, I'm seeing gold, silver, and precious metals going down. That is not supposed to happen. But I'm going to say one other thing. The reason why you used to be able to say that is because up until the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, what people would do is if the stock market would go down, they would take their money and put it into precious metals, gold, silver, precious metals to be safe. So there would be a high demand. And whenever there's crypto, due to crypto, people aren't taking their money from the stock market and buying gold, silver, and precious metals. They're buying crypto. That takes some of the sting or the demand for gold and silver off the table. And especially when somebody looks at something and they go, okay, I bought this for $1,800 or I bought this for $25. What do you get for it? You get nothing. It's in a black hole. There's no rewards that you can earn. There's no way to make any money. It's just sitting there. And then when you sell it, you have to sell it for less than whatever the price could be, but you might have to wait around for years before a profit picture enters. Now, crypto, people like gambling a hell of a lot better. And the way you used to be able to put your money into crypto and then it would increase easily because across so many altcoins or even Bitcoin and Ethereum, some of the big boys, you would be able to make a profit 20, 30, 40%, 50, or maybe even 100 or 200% in a short period of time. So people were like, forget that, stock market's going down. I'll dump my money in crypto, except surprise, crypto is now being manipulated as well. So if stock market's going down, crypto's going down. Stock market going down, gold, silver, and precious metals apparently now go down. Inflation running rampant. So what? Gold, silver, precious metals are F. And you know what that means. Hitting the fan. And they're waiting for it. Meanwhile, their dollar cost average is getting decimated because they're buying as the price goes up. So when the price did go up to $25 for silver, when the price did go up to $1,920 or $30 for gold, they were buying more, creating an increase in their dollar cost average. And then when the coin price for gold goes to 1,800 and something, and silver goes from 25 to 21, those are big 20% decreases and a 10% for one, or not even 10, about 5. But those are still decreases, but your dollar cost average went up, which now means in order to get the same profit, the price has to go up twice as much. It's crazy. That's crazy. So anyhow, this is one of the downfalls when you aren't earning rewards for something that you're holding. Bank account, okay, you get less than 1%, but at least you're getting a percentage by holding it there. And yeah, you're losing on inflation. But Carnage is coming to America, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to figure something out. All right, look who's in the house. Curtis Davis has arrived. Mr. Financial, as he's known around here, with the icon next to his name. Thank you so much for being here in the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. And he says a tagline: good evening, SSN family. Good evening, Curtis Davis, otherwise known as Chili Davis here, ladies and gentlemen. Chili Davis Stocks, that's his own channel. That's right. He had the nerve. He came up with it. He said, let me start some YouTube. Let me get some of this passive income coming in. You never know. But he's helping you out, ladies and gentlemen, by giving you stock updates throughout the day. So show some love for Chili, Chilly Davis Stocks. Check out his channel. The other part to the story: Mr. Financial has another part of the tagline that he hasn't dropped tonight. So I'm going to drop it for you. ABMM. That means always be making money. That's right. Always be making money. And some of you may be saying, wait a minute, I only work 40 hours a day. Wait a minute, I have 2 jobs already. Okay, you might want to say that. And you might be doing this, but also think about the internet. It's running all the time. You can actually make extra streams of revenue from the internet. So remember at the beginning, in case you came in here late, get your free Bitcoin from the crypto tab. Software mining from your computer, from your phone, from your laptop, from your desktop. You can tie all of them together. It's an extension, just like Firefox, just like Chrome. It has its own browser and extension. Crypto tab link is down below under Earn Free Bitcoin. You can set up your network, so make sure you invite other people. You got to do a little referral marketing. And now you're setting up your own Bitcoin network. And yes, it's only pennies, ladies and gentlemen, but you know how it goes. Think about something. Let's just put things in perspective a little bit. What happens if Bitcoin did end up being $100,000 or $200,000 a coin? What if that really did happen? And you actually had $2 or $3 worth of it, and you're sitting there going, well, how much could this really be worth, right? That would be very interesting. I'm not saying that's going to happen because I have my doubts, simply because I have to just call it what it is. Again, it's not good for transactions, 7 seconds or 7 transactions per second. It's a fork of Bitcoin in the first place. So it's not even running the original Bitcoin protocol, and it's not scalable. And that's why they're talking about the Lightning Network. How the price is going to go up. And by the way, the odds of companies buying Bitcoin from this point forward, I think, isn't going to be the same. So you're not going to be able to get Musk to buy another 100 and some million or 40 million, whatever he bought. You're not going to be able to convince Kathy Woods to dump in some more hundreds or 50 million or whatever she did. You're not going to be able to get MicroStrategy shareholders to keep agreeing to collateralize and borrow against the stock and buying Bitcoin for hundreds of millions of dollars just because the CEO keeps going, it's going to go to 100,000, buy today. It's going to go to 200,000 eventually, buy now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Saylor is worried about losing. He actually bought Bitcoin, like $195 million worth, and then he proceeded to borrow against that. So he collateralized and borrowed some more against that. And so now he's leveraged substantially. And from what they tell me, they said if the price goes down to 30, he would get a margin call. Then they came out and said, oh, if it goes down to 21,000, he gets a margin call. Okay, I understand you changed the rules for these guys because I know he bought for $40,000. I just want to know how you're going to lose like 20% and be good, 30% and be good, 40% and be good, 50% and not get a margin call. Really? Okay. Different rules for the top 1%ers. But I'm just saying, and soon as one of these three big boys start having to sell, if you and I will point out one other thing. MicroStrategy stock used to be $800. And because they bought Bitcoin for MicroStrategy, look at what the stock price is now, ladies and gentlemen. This is what he did or what has happened to their company. $197. 72% in the last 6 months. 64% year to date. Negative, that is, ladies and gentlemen. Negative. Negative 56%, half the stock price, over half of the stock price year from a year ago. That is incredible. And look at where they're at the chart now. Look at 5 days where they were, but they were at 148, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe that? 148 from 800. That all because they are leveraged with BTC. And when Luna went out of business, that scared the hell out of these guys. So once again, just keep all that in mind. Look who else is in the house tonight. Gary White. Thank you so much for being here in the SSN Nation. His tagline says, good evening, SSN family. Let's get it. And that's what we're trying to do here, Gary White. Thank you so much. Very, very nice to see you once again. And 1 hour, 18 minutes in, please make sure you smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. Here we go. MicroStrategy, it's fun going up, but terrible coming down. Bitcoin, exactly. They caught some air, it appears. It went from 148 to 190, so it's $50 a share. So somebody did good, 28% in 5 days. That could be ladies and gentlemen. No joke whatsoever. And ARK Invest also taking hits. Elon, Tesla taking hits. But anyhow, let's get back to the carnage. This is some carnage that's been happening. If you think 76% stock loss is not carnage, that's carnage, ladies and gentlemen. That's a crash. That's what you call a crash. So here, let's go check out some of. So keep this in mind. So you have all these guys touting it, making people buy, and what happens when the some of these countries are, oh, we're going to go under 6. We're going to go under 6, ladies and gentlemen. We're going under 6. It's at after hours. It's at 700 after hours, ladies and gentlemen. It's going under 6. I wonder why. Tesla dumped by S&P ESG index as electric vehicle standing not enough. Why Tesla was kicked out of the S&P 500 ESG index. Holy smokes. That's interesting. So, in case you don't understand what's happening, there's carnage coming in America, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be in the 600s tomorrow. And that just means if it's not in that index, that means it's not going to be in some of the funds are going to start selling Tesla because they're going to take profits. Like the Gino Shimienti discussion. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. They rose up here to 1200. Now it's down to 7. This actually it's below September 8th numbers. So some people are going, wait a minute. Had that nice ride up to 12. I didn't sell then and take my $500 per share profit. And then now it's dropped down to 700. Now this is going to be $600, $690, $680 tomorrow. And now that they're out of the ESG, you can best believe after hours it dropped. It's going to drop tomorrow when they open up. Yep. There we are. Tesla lost ESG standing. Professor Antival, exactly. And Dream Miller's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. She has the icon next to her name. So thank you so much for being here. And she says her tagline. Hi, Eric and the SSN family. Long time, and Dream Miller. It's been way too long. Because, you know, without you being here, I can't say things like it's SSN University, SSN Academy. That's right. SSN Nation here, ladies and gentlemen, the no guru zone. That's right. See, without you, Andrew Miller, I keep forgetting about the SSN University and SSN Academy part. So whenever you show up, that reminds me, I must say that when you come. That's dedicated to you, by the way, because you're the one that said it. All right. So thank you so much. Very nice to see you once again, Andrew Miller. I appreciate your support and for you being here. So Tesla is going to be in the 600s. Anybody buying tomorrow? Now, I just want to know something. The 52-week high is 1243. The 52-week low is 546. It's going to be in about the 690s tomorrow, probably. So is it going to be a buy? Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Some of you are excellent stock traders and pickers and investors. What do you think? Do you think 680 is a buy territory? Or do you think 640 is a buy territory? Because I'm a little miffed at this moment about the stock market and crypto. I'm trying to figure out what would be the reason for a person to buy in this market. What would make you buy real estate? What would make you buy stocks? What would make you buy crypto? What would make you buy gold, silver, and precious metals? Are you going to sit back and relax and wait and see where the knife falls? How far it's going to fall? Because a lot of people didn't think Tesla would fall this far. Or let's call it MicroStrategy would fall this far. Or gold, silver, and precious metals would drop this far. They figured 10%, 5%, and then when it went to 10, they go, okay, 15. Then it went to 20. They're like, okay, this is interesting. 25. Now all of a sudden, things aren't looking too hot, and I'm trying to figure out why would you buy it and not find out where the bottom is. You could sit back and relax right now because hardly anybody's in demand for these things. And heaven forbids if there's going to be some sort of bank situation that occurs. Because remember, we're still not out of the woods with the with oil, cost of everything, the supply chain. None of this is fixed. Jobs are still, nobody's working. Not that it's not for the lack of places saying they're hiring, but people are just like saying, I'm not going to go back to work. I don't get paid enough. My child daycare costs me $600, $700 a week. You're only going to pay me $600 a week. I can't go back to work. I mean, let's call it what it is. So now what's going to happen? People are starting their own businesses, but starting your own business, it's hard. Nobody breaks out and says, I'm going to be making $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 per month when they start. You have to work up to it. You have to work up to profits. And then there's no guarantee of success when you know 9 out of 10 businesses fail. So the carnage is coming to America, is already here. Who of you may have seen the footage of a blatant, in the middle of the day, Beverly Hills, California, window, grabbed everything out of the window and ran off? This has been happening in America, but it's been like talked about on news outlets and things like that. So it was no big deal because it was just, CVS store. It was just some regular Family Dollars or whatever. But now, Beverly Hills, in broad daylight, smash and grab, third world country, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first 4 years ago. I told you America's a third world country. It's just hidden. You know how many people are out of work right now? Like 100 million people. Come on. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fool yourself now. Stay awake. Okay. Yes, all stocks down. Walmart down 11%. Every time Powell speaks, market falls. Look, yes, they have no choice. Because the day of him trying to sit here and go, oh, it's transitory. Inflation is transitory. Don't worry about it. Oh, no, we don't need to raise the federal funds rate at all because we'll be able to taper down a little bit. The market wins when he talks like that. But when he comes out and starts talking like Houston, we have a problem. But he'll never say that. But when he talks about, hey, we might have to, do something with the interest rates and, things are going to cost more Americans. Wait, people don't want to hear this. Wait a minute now. Even though it's the right thing to do. But he just delayed the inevitable. The carnage is coming. The middle class is going to be erased. You're going to have to save yourself now in 2022. This is where it begins. Remember, the top 10 percenters own 89% of the stock market. So the stock market really is no indication of the economy. But people get afraid when the stock market goes down, when all along the stock market is a delayed indicator, ladies and gentlemen. If you think the stock market can drop 40, 50%, those are companies. So if companies' value decreases that much, what's really happening in the economy? You don't have to be an economist to figure this out. That means there's a problem, doesn't it? And that's a trickle-down effect. That's the only thing that's a trickle-down effect. It's like a hammer that's going to be on the top of your head. You're going to have to do something about it. Passive income, wherever you can find it. Dividend income, wherever you can find it. Crypto rewards daily income, wherever you can find it, but it's going to be high risk. These are the things you're going to have to do with your money because there is no way you're going to be able to sit here and tell me, Eric, you're not going to be able to tell me that. And again, we're having Wi-Fi issues here. So please excuse the delays. But nonetheless, I'm just trying to say, prepare yourself, ladies and gentlemen, any way you can. And that means extra streams of revenue. The Dow still needs to fall another 15%. Hey, it should have happened already. And when it does, then Armageddon's coming real fast for people in the stock market. Oh, retired people are going back to work off due to COVID, early retirement. Exactly. Look, again, ladies and gentlemen, some people retired in 2020, 2002, 2005, 2010. They were sitting there going, okay, $3,000 a month? That is awesome. Because remember, homes, you could still buy a home for 150,000, 200,000. Gas was in the dollar something, $1.20, $1.30 range. Food, you could get about 6 bags of groceries for $100, maybe 10 bags of groceries for $100. And now look, one bag of grocery for $100, gas at $4. You were thinking that $3,000 a month was going to last you for the rest of your life. 10 years later, you're like, wait, what's going on? My car cost $100 just to fill, $70 to fill, $45, $50 to fill. I go to the grocery store, I buy like 3 bags worth of stuff, and they're telling me $250, $200. You're sitting there like, wait a minute, this isn't going that far. And all I did was get food and gas. And you're sitting there like, man, I got expenses here at the wherever, either whether I own the home or I'm renting the home or I own it free and clear, you still have expenses. You still have insurance payments. You still have water, food, sewer, and garbage payments. There's no escape, ladies and gentlemen. You're still going to have to pay taxes on some of that as well. No escape. Phoenix, Arizona has doubled homeless population. Oh yeah. It's going to get bad, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be very, very bad. Simply because, let's just keep, I've done this several times, so I won't get into it again, but if it's going to cost somebody $2,000 to live in a studio or a 1-bedroom apartment, that means they have to make 6 G's a month. 50% of the population, more than 50 actually, does not make $60,000 a year. All right? So that's a problem. Where are these people going to live when rents are $1,800, $2,000, $1,700 a month? And all you're making is $15, $20 an hour. That's not going to cut it. Can't live anywhere. And then the dominoes start falling. So now the company in town, which holds 200 employees, they close down. Those 200 employees can't pay wherever they live, whether it's their mortgage or whether it's their rent. You have 200 people having to relocate, find another place. And they don't have any revenue streams coming in. But they may have a tent. They may have camping equipment. And they may say, hey, I might go join the rest of these people in this compound over here that have tents and tarp and homeless section. This is just the beginning. Carnage has already come to America. We're a third world country, but you don't know it yet. Just saying, pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial, dropping some gems tonight. All COVID did was delayed inflation. Exactly. They hit us up every 10 years, 2008, not 2019, but 2021. Inflation is 5% per year. Inflation is more than 5. But if you listen to Jerome Powell, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, single digits. But if you actually know economics, 15 to 20% the last 2 years. The year before that, it was 10%, like I was saying. And you guys, here we are now. Everybody was in denial. Why? Because the stock market's going up, which only 10%, top 10% owns 80, 90%, and going, oh, my portfolio is my pension fund or whatever is doing good. Stock market's going up 10%, 20%. All's good. But look what happened. Sad. Sad, ladies and gentlemen. Look at what happened. All of a sudden, it comes crashing down. The water goes out. And now you find out who can't ride that tide when it comes in. You're finding out who's not dressed. Because when the markets are going up, everybody can do anything. But when the market goes down, you now find out where everybody's going to sit. And unfortunately, if you have credit card debt in the billions total for American citizens, trillions actually, and you increase interest rates, that means you owe more money. How are you going to pay this back? You're going to get a raise of 2 or 3%? How about a raise of 10% or 15%? You're getting that raise. Are you going to increase your profits 10 or 15% year over year just to stay even? Think about all this, ladies and gentlemen. Carnage is already here. You're going to have to figure out how to save yourself. And whether that means adjustments in your life, adjustments in your portfolios, there's going to be an adjustment needed. Now, of course, if you're less than you're in the top 10%, adjustment may be minor. From the top 1%, then no adjustments more than likely will be needed. But if you're outside of that and the bottom 90%, adjustments will be needed, because your portfolio, if you have one, and are in the stock market, and heaven forbid if you're in the crypto market, you're looking at things going down. Even an index funds can't save you at this point. All right. So I'm just saying, how far down we go, you guys don't know. We just had the Great Recession 12, 13 years ago. It was not fixed. It was just a band-aid to make it look like it was fixed by printing more money and giving it to banks and Wall Street and whoever else that they figured could prop up the markets. Then they proceeded to print more money. Then they proceeded to buy back debt instead of letting these companies go bankrupt. That would have been the simpler thing. So I'm just saying, that's up, guys. I made it. Andy Ortiz is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. And he has the icon next to his name. And again, only Wednesday night live can you have the icon. And that's where he says, that's what's up, guys. I made it. Andy Ortiz, again, very nice to see you. Thank you so much for being in the house. Rent in South used to be $700 a month. Now it's $1,500. Exactly. And this is for 1 or 2 bedrooms. Hell, in the ATL, this is incredible. A place that used to be Decatur, Georgia, where you could rent like $700 a month for like a 1-bedroom apartment. They started rebuilding new things. They put luxury apartments on these new apartment buildings. A 1-bedroom, $2,300 to $2,700 a month. That's crazy. You have to earn roughly $80,000 per year. That's $7,000 per month to live there. Okay, why don't I, anybody want to try this? 7,000, divide that by 160. And the reason I say that is it's 40 hours a work week times 4 is 160. So 7,200 divided by 160. Anybody want to give a shot? Well, how about this? 2 is 32. 4 is 64. Are you really going to get $45 or $50 an hour? I'm just saying. Okay. Let's go. Diesel Mike is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. And he has the icon next to his name as well. And SSN family. And welcome again to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream with the icon Diesel Mike. Very nice to see you again, Diesel Mike. Thank you for your support, Diesel Mike. And I'm very, very happy to see you once again. I'm waiting for the housing market to crash. Exactly. Hurry up and get it over with. Hey, Diesel Mike, they're trying to delay that. That's the last thing that they're trying to delay, because what happens is if the stock market goes, if the real estate market goes down, they now have created a situation where you can't refi, you can't get HELOCs, and now you're going to have the developers defaulting on all that derivative paper, going out of business. And you already have where there's foreclosures hidden under the radar. They're not telling you about that. They're not really marketing that right now. So they're doing that. There's also home prices are starting to decrease. They're not letting people know about that. They still want you to believe they're going up at record paces and record highs. But Jerome Powell had no choice. He had to raise the interest rate. And this next round is going to be very, very bad, because minimum is probably going to be a 5% or 5.1 or 2% interest rate for a 740, 750 credit score. And if you have less than that, you're probably going to be in the 6% range. And so the significance of this is, remember, my thing was 6 months. So I said July, 6 months from February, I believe, or it could have been January. But anyhow, my 6 month guess did not work. It was an educated guess, though, but, or it still may, but we're either looking at something in June or July, according to my 6-month prediction. Now, if that doesn't happen, then definitely before the end of this year, when they raise the interest rates again, we're going to have Armageddon coming. And that's when you can take full advantage. Mortgage count. Yeah. Hold on a second here. Google. And I'll show this. I've been doing this every time. I want to show people what we're dealing with here in case you're new to the SSN Nation. We want you to understand what you're dealing with and why you want to get those extra streams of revenue in your hot little hands. Because look at here. I'm going to put in, this is just normal $350,000. 1655. That interest rate of 3.92, most people won't be able to get anymore. So why don't we drop it up into the 4.025? We're at $1,722. That's for a 350. And when you know your debt to income ratio can be about 35%, but I always go round down to 30. So all you got to do is go 3 times 17, that's 51. So you know you're going to have to be making roughly $6,000 per month to qualify for this, right? Okay. Some people are saying our household income is $72,000. But tell me you don't have a car, because if you have a car and you're paying $200 or $300 or $400 or $500 per month, then you're going to have to add on 3 times that amount. So if a car payment, insurance, $500, now 72, now you change that into 80,000 you need to make. Now, I'm just showing you on the 350 note. And this right here, what I'm about to show you, when you go 550, or yeah, let's go 550. Now look what happens. This is why home prices can't stay the price they are. Because at 550,000, that's 2,700. You can do 27 times 3. 8,100, 9,000 a month. You start reducing how many households make $100,000. Not that hard, but still household price. But now that would be if you have a 740. Well, they'll probably up it to 760. But now look at what happens here when Jerome Powell does what he does and the mortgage lenders do what they do next month. A 550 house is going to cost 3 G's a month. You would have to make over $100,000 in your household to afford this. And never mind if you have credit card debt, car loans, any student loans, any of that, that means you have to even make more money into the 140s, 150s. Therefore, this is unsustainable. You cannot sustain this number here. It's that simple. And we're going to be in this territory as well, ladies and gentlemen. 6.25 for a 550. And look what happens when you go back to the 450. It's still hefty. And you still haven't even got your insurance ready yet. Maybe it's only $100 a month. Maybe it's $150. Maybe you didn't put down 20%. So now they're going to try and charge you some insurance on your mortgage. So if you default, it's still paid. So now you're going to have to pay another or put down 20%. So think about all that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And I didn't have it on the screen, so you guys weren't able to see it, but I'm just letting you know. This is what's going to happen right here. You're going to have 6% interest rates for 450, and that's 2,700 a month. People aren't going to be able to qualify for this. All right. So prices will come down to accommodate. Lots of love. I'm going to start calling Eric Mr. Nightmare Scenario. ATL, no joke. Exactly. Nightmare Scenario. But hey, you know what else? You know what else we're going to be called here shortly? It's going to be called Mr. Rock Bottom. That's what we're going to be doing. All right. Because there will be a time to get back into crypto. There will be a time to start thinking, hey, this may be the time to get back into stocks as well. I'm just not buying that it's now. All right. So we'll see how I do this time. I have a good track record from last time, but let's see what happens this time. I don't think it's ready yet. I don't think we're ready yet, ladies and gentlemen. There's not enough pain and suffering in the financial markets. Not quite yet. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about here. Let me go to the screen, even though I messed this up earlier because I was talking and didn't show you the screen. The 450 at 6% interest for people under a 740 credit score is going to be popping up. The 450 at the 4.25%. Your mortgage is 2,200 a month, which means you got to make over 7 G's household wise, 70 G's, 70,000 household wise. And it's going to be rough out here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be very, very rough. Carnage is already here. It's coming to America beyond your wildest dreams. And you may not be prepared for this, just like in the 1930 era when people went to the bank thinking everything was good. They knock on the door. ATM, imagine your ATM card not working or ATM's not spitting out money. And then they tell you, we're on a bank holiday. What do you think will happen to millions and millions of Americans? If you think smash and grab is no big deal now, try having millions of people around that does not have money or food or water, and there are some stores that still have something in there. You will get 20, 50 people smashing and grabbing. I'm just saying. So be prepared if this thing goes wiggy. All right? That's all I'm trying to tell you. And Diesel Mike, be prepared because the real estate market will come crashing down. All right, UVXY up 20%. That's right. The velocity stock, ladies and gentlemen. We got a little pop today, even though they hurt us. They're manipulating. Let me put this down here. They're manipulating. So they had those up days in the stock market to offset what should have been happening all along. This thing should have went down. So look, in the last 5 days, look what happened. It's a negative 5-6% still. Because the stock market on the, well, it wasn't the 16th and 17th, they went up somehow. This is insanity. And now because it went down, Jesus, it went down 1,100 points today. Then it goes up 20%. See how this works? The velocity stocks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not all in on velocity. I'm a lot in on velocity. The UVXY, the SQQ, the VIXY. So because of this little swing here, this down and up, I'm not like, I didn't earn like 20% today because my dollar cost average is, well, it's a little bit lower than this as I recall, but nonetheless, it dropped way down here though. We're $3 or we're 25% down. So the fact it goes back up 20, another 500 negative day for the Dow, another 100-day negative for the S&P. Okay, that'll be another 15-20%. That means we'll be all good. It could be off to the races as well. So sooner or later, but we're not at the bottom yet. SPUX up 10%, SQQQ up 15%. Eric said it's not over 2 weeks ago. Exactly. It's not over. Thank you so much for mentioning that. I agree, Eric. I still see 20 to 12K Bitcoin this year. Hey, that's the way I see it. I'm going, you know what's really funny about that? I'm not even like a Bitcoin guy for real. It's just that I'm going by the straight historical record. That's what I went by. I looked at the 17,000 down to the 3,500 or thereabouts. So that means we did 1/5. So I did the same thing. I go, what's 1/5 of 68,000? That's the number, right? We're talking about 15,000, 16,000, 20,000. So I'm like, if history repeats itself, which unlikely, but it could, but a lot of people have been getting burned over the last 2 years. Projects come, they disappear 5 months later. Rug pulls, all these new projects, 99% down. All this money wipe out. That money's not available for investing back into crypto because it's wiped out. So that means the ecosystem has a problem. So I think You might as well just sit here and see how far that falling knife is going to go, how much of the blood in the streets is going to go, because with all these projects, and I'm waiting for another major project to go bye-bye, then the next thing you know, crypto's going to go down some more. And again, let's just put things in. I mean, I hate to belabor the point, but this is ridiculous. Bitcoin does not have any utility. Ethereum, they created the utility based on NFTs and having people make projects off of their blockchain. But if that didn't happen, then none of this stuff would even have utility to it. And in the end, Ethereum, it's not fast enough to process per second either. So again, it's going to end up being a dead end, or you're going to have to add more protocols on top of it, which means that's just another chance for something to break. So once again, there's no fail safe here. And once again, people may be waking up realizing that, wait a minute, you can't replace Visa, MasterCard. Neither one of you can. You're not fast enough. And you charge these stupid fees. Why am I going to pay 2% or 3% or no percent using my credit or debit card? Meanwhile, if I use your services, you're really going to charge me $20, $30 for a $100 purchase, $200 purchase? Come on. And then if we have too many people on the network all at the same time, all of a sudden it's congested. So instead of that $20 fee for my $200, you're going to charge me $40 because you can't sustain the traffic. Does this make any sense? Hell no. Long way to go with crypto. I'm just saying. Uh-oh. Here we go. Sports break. Mavs down 21 in the third. Auntie Val. That's bad. Because the Warriors actually play better in the third. Generally, they'll play good in the first part of the third. Then they'll have a lull at the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth. And then with somewhere halfway, like 8 minutes to 5 or 4 minutes, these guys traditionally somehow turn it back on, so to speak, even though they're not really. But that's how they've been playing. They've been having these ups and downs. So we'll see if the Mavs can actually close it to a closer score in the next 6-7 minutes, I would assume. And maybe after the third quarter's over, maybe they'll be down 10 in striking distance. But again, the Warriors match up perfectly with the Mavs. The Mavs do not match up perfectly with the Warriors. Warriors have too much firepower, too many plays. Defensively, you just can't leave people open. And let's just face facts. Their three-point shooters shoot way better at home, referring to the Golden State Warriors. So you can't leave them open. And then let's call it what it is. Mavericks played 2 days ago. And unfortunately, they're going to have to play in 2 days from now. So if they don't get enough rest, I don't know if it's going to happen in another 2 days. So they may have a problem. They might be down 2-0, but they'll play better on the next game. So this looks like a blowout. Sad. But again, I'm a California kid, so Golden State, and I like the way they play. That's cool. But when they play the Heat, they'll be shut down. I'm just saying this is going to be very interesting. Offense versus the great offense versus a great defense. That's going to be very, very interesting. I'm already putting the Heat in. We'll see if the G-Dubs get in. I think the Dubs are going to be there. So Auntie Val got the Mavs and the Heat. Anybody else want to take their stab at their picks? Who are you going to pick in the NBA Finals? Right now, it's the Heat and the Celtics from the East, the Dallas Mavericks, and the Golden State Warriors in the West. Who do you think is going to be in the Finals? Let us know. The sports break. All right, 1 hour, 54 minutes in. Please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. That would be greatly appreciated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial, says history repeats itself. Well, so far it's looking that way. Because remember, a couple months back, when all of a sudden we went from, well, it wasn't 68 at the time, but when it got down to around 35 or 37, whenever that was a month ago, I was saying the same thing. I'm going to wait and see what happens because traditionally, I'm just going by history at this point. I'm not going by any charts or any other thing. I'm just going by history. And before that, it happened again. And this time, there's no save. In other words, there is no halving. There's no halving this year. So you're not getting saved this year. All right. So that's another thing. So where is this going to end? And like I said, there's another lever that could pop here. I'm still waiting for Kathy Woods, Elon Musk, or MicroStrategy to go, hey man, I got to sell some of this Bitcoin. I'm still waiting. Soon as that happens, it's definitely going to go down. But so far, these guys, I got to give them credit. They're doing everything under the sun to make sure they don't have to sell, even if they're jeopardizing their companies or their funds. I can't believe they're willing to do this. It's incredible when you really think about it. And I'd be pissed if I was actually, I'm not in Tesla. I'd be pissed if I was in Tesla. I'd be pissed if I was in MicroStrategy. And I'd be pissed at Kathy Woods holding on as well. I'd be like, what are you guys doing? You're dragging down the price of your stocks or your funds. And then Elon's out here messing around with Twitter. I'm just like, this is crazy. And so you're just going to ignore crypto prices going down 60%, 70%. You're just going to ignore that. I'm just like, this is crazy. I don't get it. Top 1%ers have bought up all the infrastructure, blockchain, and controlling crypto. Exactly. Except there's one little problem. They only bought crypto and did what they did because they were figuring, hey, we have people that don't want to invest in the stock market. They're using their money to put it into crypto. So we better infiltrate crypto. So then the money's still coming to us. Except they didn't know that crypto, or never paid attention for some strange reason, that crypto could drop 60, 70, 80, 90% in a week, in a day. They didn't realize that. They were thinking the volatility was going to be fine, but that's because them and all their friends was buying it along with the general population. Again, when somebody's buying 40 million here, 50 million here, 100 million there, 200 million there, borrowing a 200 million, then borrowing against that and buying like 20% more of that, another 30 billion. It's 30 million. That's crazy. They never even dreamed of, hey, wait a minute. What if this stuff really isn't long term? Wait, why am I buying Bitcoin? It can never be currency. Not enough transactions per second. I mean, who would make that decision as a company, as a CEO? Let me know. We have Professor Auntie Val in the house. Let me know what you guys would do if you're the CEO of a company and you realized that the stock that you bought or the crypto that you bought, and I'll use Bitcoin, and you find out, you're sitting there going, wait, did you just say it can only do 7 transactions per second? Well, then who can use that? You'd be like, that's crazy. Did you just say they're going to have to make a network on top of it in order to make it faster? Doesn't that mean there's going to have to be development? And doesn't that also mean wherever there's development, there could be errors? We don't like this. But yet, here we have well-known figures saying, I'm getting the Bitcoin because traditionally it's gone up. Except it doesn't work by market. There's no demand. If there's no demand, everything goes down. In fact, it just doesn't go down $1 or $2. It goes down 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%. By then, it's a wipeout for most of your investors. Big boys can always stay around, but if your investors don't have any more money to invest, then you're going down too. All right. Enough, I guess, about that. All right. Because we still got to get you your free $10 of Bitcoin while the price is down below 30. Might as well get it. And then share your link with other people. So then they get free $10 of Bitcoin, and then get your free $5 of Shiba or ADA or whatever, doggy coin from Webull. There's a link down below in the description below the video. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now, agree, Curtis. BlackRock, Vanguard, JPM have made their moves. Exactly, Auntie Val. Exactly. And that's why therein lies the problem. These guys also aren't able to bail out. They're sitting there like, wait, didn't we just buy this stuff for $40,000 like 6 months ago? And they're sitting there like, what the heck's going on, man? We already lost weight. Is that 10%? No. Is that 12? Is that 15? Holy smokes. We lost 20% in a few months? That was so quiet. It's like, what the freak's going on? Wait a minute. Hold on. Double check that again. It's the 28. We lost 25% in 4 months. And we have no lever. We can't call Chairman Powell to come talk. Well, let's call Musk up and tell him to talk up. Let's call Kathy Wood, talk up. Let's call Michael Saylor. Let's have them talk up. Who else can we get? There is no Oracle of Omaha in crypto. It's too volatile. I mean, seriously. You can't trot out like CNBC does and Bloomberg and all them guys. When the stock market goes down, all of a sudden, here comes Warren Buffett. Here comes Charlie Munger. Here comes Bill Gates. All these guys start coming out. Oh, yeah, it's going to be good. These are the stocks that I invested in, the Amazons, the Coca-Colas, the Pepsis, the insurance, AIG. They start telling you, yeah, these are the ones. Yeah, they're the rock companies. They're the ones that do hundreds of millions of dollars in profit every year, if not billions. That's who you should be in right now, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So just think about this. In crypto, who can you call to trot out and be on the news and talk about, hey, this guy made, multi-billions or whatever, and who are they trotting out? Do we have a spokesperson that can trot out and you can look at their record and be like, hey, yeah, this guy bought it 10,000. He bought 200 million at 10,000. Where's that guy? All right. So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. So without a federal chairman showing up like a Jerome Powell talking about, hey, you know what? We're going to decrease interest rates. Well, that doesn't affect crypto. Or we're going to buy back debt. Well, that doesn't affect crypto. The only thing that affects crypto is sentiment and demand. You have to have demand in order for crypto to increase in value. And when's that going to happen? We don't know. Is it going to happen at 28? Is it going to happen at 27? Did it happen when it dropped to 26, by the way, and it's back up to 28? Or is it going to go below 26? The $1 million questions. We're going to find out. Auntie Val believes it's a store of value, period. No more, no less, no other use. There are other blockchains that are much better tech, and they know it. Exactly, Professor Auntie Val. Now, I will push back a little bit because I have talked Bitcoin myself here on the SSN Nation channel. But let's get real. You guys know how I feel about Bitcoin because I don't even run on their blockchain because I just think it's ridiculous, the fees they charge. I bypass them. I also try to bypass anything run on Ethereum because they're not decentralized and they charge too much for the transaction fees. Because in crypto, $10, $20, $30, $50, $100 in fees that they take for you to move across their blockchain, you could have used that $20, $5, $10 and put it in some other altcoin, and you could be ahead thousands of dollars. Or you could be down 99.5%. I mean, either way, though, all I'm trying to say is those fees taken out could have been used in a project that could have gotten you returns of 1,000%. That's all I'm trying to say. So because we never know which project ultimately is going to win. These guys aren't getting together, huddling up, going, hey, man, why don't we just take the best of all we got and all work together? so we can charge like 2.3 or less in fees. They're not thinking like that. There's no group thinking like that, other than when they say, hey, I'm going to work together on the FTM network. I'm going to work together on the Avalanche network. I'm going to work together on the Polygon network. I'm just like, can we just get one guys all working together so we can stop this dollar nonsense? But no, they want to get money just like a bank, just like a stock. That's how they're treating crypto instead of working together. That's why it's so irritating, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as far as Bitcoin being a store of value, I'm still, the jury's still out for me on it because it's so volatile. I don't know how it's a store of value, even though it's worked out so far, but we're only 13 years into this. All currency goes to zero, sadly. And without having some other mechanisms in place, which why we have DAOs, why we all of a sudden have the node projects, why all of a sudden we have things like the Drip Network earning daily ROI, why we have NFTs and staking now, all that, is it really sustainable? Where are you going to get the extra money influx from? Again, this still is at the beginning stages. And wouldn't it be wonderful if Bitcoin was 20,000 and then somehow miraculously is 120,000? I don't know how that's going to happen because you're going to need a lot of demand. So we're going to find out. Curtis Davis, this is crazy. There's no real stable coin. We still need regulation to back a USDC coin or guarantee all funds no matter what happens. See, Curtis Davis, you're hitting it right on the head. When you start thinking about crypto financially, you have to start going, wait a minute. How's this going to actually sustain itself over 2-year period, let's say? And I'm sitting there like, especially if you have a situation like low demand, because stocks can't even operate if there's low demand. Prices will go down if you sell a product and there's no demand. So I'm still trying to figure out where this demand is going to come from. Demand started popping up when Metaverse came, NFT talk, but now some NFT failures, Metaverse failures, DAO failures, node failures. This is getting crazy. But you know what it is? Let's just call it they go bankrupt. They're clearing the field. So the ones that are staying are going to be picking up some of the pieces from all of these other projects and went by the wayside. And so only the strong will survive like a true capitalist system. So that's what they're working on, but they're not working fast enough, unfortunately. So let's see what happens over the next year or 2 or 3. Because I want the people's money to succeed, ladies and gentlemen. Fiat money is still man-made, and our government has shown no restraint spending on stuff while average OCs suffer. Exactly. Talk about this to the European friends. Talk about this to the Asian friends, South American friends. Their central government banking system always has to print more money, and then they ultimate collapse. No way around it. All right, big boys back USDC. It's a wrap, just not announced yet. All the others will be removed one way or the other. I've heard about the USDC. That's also why Powerful Dragons probably went to the USDC as well. I've heard about that. Thank you for mentioning it, Professor Auntie Val, because for everybody, I'm going to have to agree to her. But you know what was scary was USDC went below its peg value because there's going to be pressure on these stable coins now because of Terra Luna. And that's unfortunate. But USDC does have, in fact, serious backing. And all the ISO 2022 talk and all that. Let me go back by. See and look, and it's on the Ethereum-based stable coin, and that's I can't deal with Ethereum, but everybody else, that doesn't mean you can't. You can deal with Ethereum if you want to. It's 1-to-1 to the US dollar, and again, they're backing it to the US dollar. So be it. There is no between Coinbase and Circle. There it is. and U.S. dollar denominated assets held at regulated and audited U.S. financial institutions. So there goes one way of looking at it. But the teeter-totter, what happens when the dollar goes down? What happens when the dollar could fade or something happens? That's what I want to know. What's the offset to that, Professor Auntie Val? Do you know? Lots of love. Nobody to call. Exactly. Exactly, Curtis Davis. Nobody to call. You hit it right on the head. Auntie Val, yep. Exactly. Eric, that sounds too much like right. All in agreement. 2% low fees. Exactly. Exactly. Why is it that these guys, because they're just basically the new hedge funds. That's all they are. They're not no different than a hedge fund in what crypto, the way I look at crypto. And it's highly disappointing that we all believed the DAOs, we all believed in the 10% per coin or 1% daily. We were thinking they all had the ecosystem. All they were doing was basically acting as startups. And they didn't have the sustainable part figured out. So then they had to reduce rewards or charge more for the rewards. It was just crazy what's been going on. So none of it was sustainable the whole time. And that's scary. Then they're scaring people with baby formula situation. That's right. Our government media off the chains. Exactly. Exactly. And look, ladies and gentlemen, that carnage is coming to America, but it's already here. How do I have to? This is crazy. How do I have to do this here? Abbott Labs. This is crazy. Abbott Labs under investigation. Indictment over baby formula crises. Okay, I don't know what she's talking about, but are they talking about indicting a company? That's one thing. When you indict the persons responsible at the company, that's another thing. This talk about indicting a company and then they pay a fine to get off, man, get out of here with this. All right? I'm not the guy to talk to. I've had the feds run up on me. It's crazy. Abbott Laboratories announced Monday it's ramping up production of its infant formula Similac at its Columbus facility amid a nationwide shortage. See, this is just craziness here. Welcome to the carnage in America, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the carnage in America. Then they're scaring people with the baby formula. Oh, yeah. You know, I hear Canada does not have that problem. How is that? Exactly, Professor Auntie Val. Exactly. How is that? Sad. You know, carnage is here, coming to America. Nobody's coming to save you. Go get that shirt at the stopstrugglingnow.com website. Save yourself by getting those extra revenue streams, the extra passive income coming in by any means necessary. And then you need to make more money now, ASAP. That just gives me a promo, 2 hours and 13 minutes in. That just gives us a promo into group economics where you're going to be able to earn 0 to 5% every week. You get your money back after 6 months, or you can re-up. How about that? Yeah, your original investment comes back. How about that? Okay, but you get to earn every week. And your total amount's not going to be liquid, but the interest you earn will be liquid. It'll be sent to you, so you're good. All right? Just letting you know. All right. Stay tuned for that. You'll see it on Friday. You'll be able to go to the stopstrugglingnow.com website and join up with the business opportunity. All right, here we go. I knew somebody, Professor Auntie Val, is going to bring it up. The Fed digital dollar. Is that what the USDC is actually going to try to be? In fact, that's what it sounds like. It says it's a 1-to-1 peg to the US dollar, which everybody claimed that. But the USDC, is that backed? And it did seem like it was backed by the big boys. So that means that will be the stable coin of choice. In fact, Coinbase and Center. Yeah, Coinbase, as far as I'm concerned, it's a federal government agency, just like PayPal is. All right. Yeah, don't think I forgot about you, PayPal. By the way, you guys know the story about PayPal that I mentioned on Monday. They actually released the funds the very next day after I told them I'm not giving. I didn't. What did I send them? I sent them a message saying, I said, look, the person you're asking for the date of birth is not party to the transaction, so I'm not following why it needs to be, why you need that, and furthermore, that's against security protocol to give out somebody's names that's not a party to the transaction, their date of birth. So I just sent it back like, if they refuse, who cares? If they accept, who cares? Okay, they finally did the transaction. But the fact that they held up the transaction asking me for the date of birth of a third party that's not party to the transaction, that's a problem. I put the person's name in the comments section so I would have this information if I ever need to look it back up. What was that payment for? And the payment was $495. So I'm sitting there like, what's that payment for if you didn't put a note in? So I put a note in. I put a person's name in so I would know what it was for. But I'm sending it to my friend that we've been doing business for 2 years, back and forth. Every month they see multiple person-to-person transactions. Then I get an email asking me for the person's name in the comment section, what their date of birth is. I'm like, have you lost your mind? That will never happen. I got a little upset, ladies and gentlemen, to say the least, especially when I called in and I asked the person on the phone, I said, you can't be serious. And they were like, yes, we're serious, Mr. Bird. We want that person's that you mentioned in the comments section. We want their date of birth. I'm like, that's not who I sent the money to. Why are you asking me? I said, no, I'm not going to. Then I said, okay, give me your first and last name and your date of birth since it's no big deal. They were like, oh, that ain't going to happen. I said, exactly. It's not going to happen either. I said, that's ludicrous. You're not party to the transaction either. So why would you give me your date of birth? That's crazy. It's called misdirection. We have several issues. China closed, Russia war, supply chain, wheat, corn shortage, high gas prices, unbalanced unemployment, all unknown time to resolve. Hey, unknown time to resolve. It's here, ladies and gentlemen. Carnage coming to America. It's right here at your doorstep. You pretty much don't have a choice as to what's going to happen. All right. Auntie Val, Professor Auntie Val. That's 100% right, Curtis. Don't look at that man behind the curtain. Wizard of Oz reference. Exactly, Professor Auntie Val. That's right. There's a wizard behind the curtain, unfortunately, I think. And we're getting burnt. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about this. The middle class wipeout is in full effect. So if I haven't scared you enough, let me scare you some more. All right. If this doesn't get you moving into a direction where you need to actually get some extra streams of revenue and get started immediately, this is like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you had time simply because you could see the landscape, right? You vote in somebody, a president, he rails for the Federal Reserve to reduce interest rates. That's good for the stock market. That's good for real estate. Prices are going to increase astronomically all across the board, assets. But after you inflate that big bubble is going to be burst, pop. The real estate stock market's going to come crashing down. Now with it, you have crypto. Now, where are you going to get your customers from to create a stagnant economy? Who's going to be buying when when everybody's trying to hodl, save, whether it's a dollar, whether it's crypto, whatever it is, people are going to be trying to save. They're not going to be taking risk. So that means your economy slows down, which now means you're going to have inflation and stagflation at the same time. And that's a problem. And now you're going to enter into an area that could be 1970s all over again. And you're going to be talking about 10% housing notes. You're going to be talking about gas not available, food shortages, gas shortages, medical help shortages. It could get rough, ladies and gentlemen. And you're going to find themselves with banks that are going to have problems. Again, I don't mean to scare you, but you got to be prepared. You've been set up, ladies and gentlemen. But everybody here in the SSN Nation already knows this, who's been around for 3-4 years. We've been talking about the day that there's going to be a time when we're going to hit the wall. And you had to prepare this whole time. Last year, it was get your assets in order. By having assets, then that means you're going to have passive income down the line. And once you have passive income, some of that might be blown out of the water. So you need more than a few streams of passive income. And once you do that, now you can settle in and stay calm. But make sure you got some brass, grass, and I don't mean some marijuana, brass, grass, right? Food, grub, all right? And in case you don't know what I'm talking about with brass, that means bullets, ladies and gentlemen, all right? You already see what's happening. You already see what's happening. What do you think is going to happen when a full-blown crisis? And I shouldn't say full-blown. All I'm saying is, let's just say another 10 million to 20 million people don't have food or water or a place to stay. It's not rocket science what's going to happen. Andy Ortiz, he said it best. I need another duffel bag of cash. We all need another one because the one we have is definitely not enough, because we cannot sustain another 20% increase in prices. And unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. You have no way around it. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 2 hours, 21 minutes. I think I'm about to end this downer for the night, but hopefully I gave you something to hang on to earlier. Just make sure you check the links down below in the description. Please make sure you sign up for the newsletter, because they don't send out enough notifications. So if you sign up for the newsletter, then I send you an email when I'm doing live streams, and when I download a video, I send out a message to you. All right. And everybody knows that I had a court date yesterday for family. And I should say something about this, because I said it on Monday and I'm going to say it again. If you have assets and you want to give your assets to an individual, whoever that individual is, please, a will is one thing. That's good enough. Or shall I say, not good enough. A will is not good enough. Please form a trust. Please put it in a trust. Make sure that you get everything to the people you want to get to the people you love. Any deviation from that, you could have problems. And just so you know, the story goes, my sister, as you guys know, had power of attorney over my mother for the last 3 years. Anytime any of me or my brother would say, hey, where's medical information? Where's banking information? Insurance information? Any information, she would not provide it. Power of attorney goes a long way. So think about who you're going to assign a power of attorney to, if you are an adult and you may need it down the road. You better start thinking, which one of your children or family members do you think you can trust? But trust me, when it comes to money, apparently there's a problem. You can't really trust anybody, family members included, when there's family items at stake. So, you guys know my mother passed away January 27th. And after she passed away, after we buried her, about 10 days to 15 days later, because she had 2 funerals and all that, then I talked with my sisters and brother about 4 or 5 days after we buried our mother, and I said, hey, does mom have a will or not? My sister doesn't talk about anything. I'm speaking with my nephew, and I tell my nephew, I'm like, yeah, man, it's a shame that your mom wants to act crazy, that she can't talk to us for some strange reason. And we don't even know anything about insurances, banking, anything. She has lost the power of attorney now, because once somebody passes away, the power of attorney is null and void. So now we're sitting there all equal, at least we think, because me and my brother, we don't know that there's an actual will. She never said it. So the thing is, now we're asking, hey, where's the paperwork? Where's the banking? Where's this? We all three share. We can just split everything and call it a day. Nice and simple. Now he says, Uncle, I saw a will. Excuse me? Mom had a will? What are you talking about? From 2005? What are you saying? So we don't know nothing about it. But guess who does? The one sibling knows about it. She also knows what's said in the thing. So from the whole time, from January 27th till May 17th, she doesn't come forth with a will. But all of a sudden, 24 hours, and she didn't know I was in Georgia, which is even more funny. 24 hours, she texts our father, who's not party to the will. They haven't been married in a long time, to tell me and my brother that at a lawyer's office, we can see the will now. Get this, at a lawyer's office, crazy. Why couldn't you just bring it a copy or something and show us? And what's the problem? Because I know pretty much what Mom's going to do. No matter what, all three of us, they were always fair. So I had a feeling whether all three of us are going to own something, I figured that's what's going to happen. So for all the rigmarole, this was very simple, ladies and gentlemen. The house that my brother has lived in for 40 years, my mom said, I'm willing the house to him. The jewelry, since my mom's a woman, said, the jewelry's going to my sister. No big deal. You know what else? Everything else in the estate is split three ways. Simple. But now, because she had to get an attorney, guess who else has to get one now? Because my mom did the one thing she should not have done. Well, she should have. She made us co-executors of the will. The person that's withholding information is somehow co-executor based on my mom's will. That's a problem, especially when you have somebody that has already stolen stuff out of your mother's home before she was even buried. There's a thing called when a person passes away, that means the estate starts. And therefore, you should not be removing items from the home, because now it's theft of the estate. But never mind, one of our siblings, which might as well tell you, my sister, just stole a lot of stuff. Everything of value, gone. And so now on May 17th, they say she is supposed to be co-executor with you. Needless to say, let's just say I'm not signing that paperwork and we have to go find out how she's going to be a co-executor with me after she's already stolen from the estate. I think not. So we're going to court, ladies and gentlemen, because she has hemmed up everything for the last 3 years plus after our mom passed away. So therefore, get yourselves just what I've been telling my mom and father. Make sure you have a trust. Then we could have bypassed all this. All right, that's it. I'm pleading you. Wow, Cash App and others cracking down. Exactly, they are. What do you think is going to happen here, ladies and gentlemen? We talked about this, Mr. Financial, for the last 3 years. We told people what's going to happen. We said when the economy goes bad, interest rates go up, banks start cracking down, making new rules. And sure enough, they came with the rule, that $600 rule. And not only are they cracking down, they're doing stupid stuff. We need to find out more information before we let this stuff go through. That's not even in their purview. They shouldn't even have nothing to do with this. I just sent money to my whoever, friend, family member on Cash App. What do they have to do with this? You guys are a processor. Process the damn money. This is getting ridiculous. Just like when you go to a bank and say, hey, man, I need 15K. And they look at you and like, what do you need the money for? What are you talking about? What do I need the money for? It's none of your business what I need the money for. That's crazy. I put the money in here and I understand the rules. When I give you the money, that means it's in your domain. That means you don't have to give me the money back. Yeah, that's what the fine print is for a bank, ladies and gentlemen. When you give your money to a bank, they can actually, it's their money now. So when you come in there and they go, what you need the money for? And I'm just like, because I want it back. It's none of your, what are you doing? It always annoys me. Except now, try and go in and get 15, 20 G's or more. And then now they're saying, oh, hey, wait, you got to make an appointment. What do you mean? When? Oh, well, hey, you know what? We want you to come back 2 days from now, anytime after 10 a.m. We got you covered. When can we set that appointment for you? I'm like, are you serious? This is what's coming. It's already here, ladies and gentlemen. If you think they were doing that before, what do you think is going to happen now? When you go down and ask for 5 G's, it's going to be a problem. I mean, when you're trying to transfer $600, it's a problem now. You're going to be paying taxes. More money out of your pocket, not more money out of the top 1%ers or top 10%ers pockets. All right. The politicians are holding OC's ransom. No student loans until after November. So what? So something's on pause until 2023. Exactly. So what? What does pause mean? You're still going to owe it. Inflation's still kicking in. That's right. We're getting into the government talk here now, ladies and gentlemen. Still going to kick in. This is why the channel, you can't go boom, because we got government talk. We talk about the real deal because this affects you. A lot of you sit up here and say, well, I'm not going to vote. A lot of you sit up there and say, well, I'm not going to pay attention to any news or any economic or financial news. Either way, if you don't know about it, you can't make plans. You're going to wake up tomorrow and they go, hey, you know what? 50% of the grocery stores are closed. That could happen. Just like the baby formula. Nobody suspected, hey, baby formula not available in America. Who would think that? But here we are. And it could be more than baby formula. So you better start realizing what's going on here in America, ladies and gentlemen. It's a third world country. You just don't know it yet, and you better wake up fast. All right? Lots of love. Have you seen India and Mumbai? Oh, my God. Don't even talk about India, man. If you've never, the slums, while rich live in high-rise condos, the poor get trampled on and land stolen, just like in America. Yeah, you guys, yeah, if you haven't been to India before, it's a sight to see, or shall I say, it's a sight you never want to see. If you're well off, you're in one section. You're not well off, you're in these tin shacks, open sewer water, drinking out of the same water that is accompanied by sewer. That's your choice. It's very bad, ladies and gentlemen. They are a true third world country, but there is the top 10%ers who have a lot of their money, the wealth. Just like in America, it's unsustainable to have 70% of the wealth owned by the top 10%. It has increased, and it's going to keep increasing, because who's going to be able to buy assets when they come crashing down? The rich get to buy more of those assets that crash down, which means when they go back up, their wealth balloons. So instead of 70%, it'll be 75% after this next crash, or 80 potentially. So that's why you got to get yourself a piece of the pies. Jesus, don't remind me. India's bad. Auntie Val showing heart, showing the strength and the support. Split a state 3 ways. Yep. Well, not really that. Yeah. That's pretty much it. House goes to one sibling. Jewelry goes to another sibling. All the rest of the assets are split evenly into the third. Simple. But the thing that's irritating is, since that was the will, then we could have done this ourselves. Because my brother's name actually is already on the property to begin with. So this would have been easy. And as far as the jewelry, she's already smashed and grabbed that. So there's no talk about the jewelry anyhow. Well, there is going to be, but I'm just saying. Mom said the jewelry goes to the other sibling. So it would have been simple. Everything's paid off free and clear. So all we had to do was just transfer titles into how we've divvied it up. Crazy, right? Simple, easy, but no. We have one sibling that feels they deserve more than the others against our mother's wishes. So yeah, it's crazy. The minute there's a will known, the state must force it. No, doesn't work like that. It's weird. It's really weird. Get this, you don't have to present a will in Georgia up until 5 years. In Florida, they have this rule about presenting a will in 10 days, but guess what? It's not enforced. So therefore, a person can hold a will for indefinite amount of time until somebody forces their way and goes to probate. Then, of course, somebody goes, hey, I got a will. But see, here's the problem. The reason why you're not going to present a will is if the will isn't in your favor. You're going to hold on to it. And so far, 2 states that I know allows you to hold on to them indefinitely. Even the 5 years in Georgia, even after the 5 years expires, there is something that you can do. You can say, hey, force people, but that's when you go to probate, which 5 G's straight out. Well, something like that. 5 G's, retainer, unnecessary, and now you have 2 parties having to pay attorney fees. Crazy. Get the trust, ladies and gentlemen, please. It's an EIN number too, by the way. So make sure you don't leave your children in a situation where you never know how siblings are going to react when there's properties, where there's monies. You never know what's going to happen. The person that you think doesn't care or may not even think money's a big deal, may be the one that thinks your money's a big deal. All I'm saying, just don't get caught up. Probate court will enforce and count up all the value good. My cousins did the same. Yeah, that would have been simple. That would have been simple. But let me know, Curtis Davis, if any of your cousins after your aunt or uncle passed away, let me know if any of them actually went over to the house and started taking stuff out of the house before you went to probate. Let me know if that happened. All right, because that changes dynamics. At least in the eyes of the other siblings or cousins, they would be like, wait, you took stuff that actually belonged to all 3 of us, and then you just took the most valuable things out of the house, and now you're acting like we're supposed to share what's left over. That's cute. So let me know what happened. When you could move 600 to 5,000, you are not free in the USA. Exactly. You're in a communist country. You guys know where you're at, right? You're in the USA, America, stars and stripes, home of the free, land of the brave, all that BS. We talked about this. This is why we were talking about pre-construction properties, real estate properties, getting off the continent into your own spaces where you're not going to be under the rule, because you know some of you are going to have your passports cut off. You're not going to be able to leave this free country of the USA. So that's going to happen. It's just we don't know when. But I'm just saying, this is very, very bad. I thought they were going after the people that were, making, 500,000, a million, 10 million, $1 billion. I thought they were going after those guys to pay their fair share. If you're going to have to pay 15% in taxes, why can't the guy that has $1 billion pay his 150 million in taxes? Right? I know. You guys, some of you are smart. You guys are going, hey, Eric, the guy that makes $1 billion, he has a company and corporation, so he's taking risk. So it's good for him to be able to do tax write-offs. Well, then if he's able to do tax write-offs, then who's going to be left holding the bag to pay for his taxes? That's right. You, us, the OCs. And since we don't have enough people to pay for his taxes, then what's going to happen? Oh, you mean we can't fix the bridge? We can't fix the roads? I wonder what's going to happen. Downfall of America, like the Roman Empire. Okay, enough. I know. Some of you are going, come on, Eric, stop this. Look, ladies and gentlemen, see this on the screen, $600 to $5,000. and they're tracking every bit of it, and you're going to have to pay taxes on that. That's a travesty. How do we do backdoor deals? You're not going to be able to do them for long, because the backdoor means you might have to use crypto. But now, is crypto safe when you're losing 60, 70, 80, 90% on whatever crypto you're holding? You don't want to leave it there. And at that point, if you're losing, then you want to take it out. And let's call it what it is. You're not going to care about taxes if you put thousands of dollars in there, and the next thing you know, it's only worth hundreds of dollars. You're not going to care about taxes. You're going to be like, I lost. So all I'm saying is, pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Things are not what they appear to be. Carnage coming to America. Save yourself. Make them plans now. Drip Animal Farm cryptocurrency. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream with the icon next to the name. And he says, good evening. Good evening to you too. Thank you so much for being here. Drip Animal Farm cryptocurrency is also a YouTube channel member and a channel holder. Under the name Drip Animal Farm Cryptocurrency has his own channel, so you got to go check him out, ladies and gentlemen. He has different things that he does, so you never know. It's like a box of chocolates on his channel. All right, my cousin spent the insurance money. There we go. Yeah, speaking of that, same scenario. Spent the insurance money and tried to deny a will existed. Exactly, that's what happened. It was told that there was no will, and my cousin and my aunt. My cousin told me that my sibling said there was no will. So that's why I was like, okay, no will, no big deal. So while we're burying mom, I'm not thinking, but I'm like, wait, why are you taking stuff out the house? What's going on? Arguments ensued. Then when we found out later there is a will, this is crazy. Now she must account for all goods in house and other items in the estate. The probate people explained to my siblings and I. Oh, you're in on it too. Cool. So that's crazy. Same thing happened here. There's insurance, but she won't give the paperwork for that. And come to find out, I don't know what's going to happen in law and in court, but if you're saying hopefully here in Georgia, they do the same thing. Make the person show what the insurance, the banking, all the stuff has to come out. Hopefully it comes out. And we find out what's going on, even bank accounts, because apparently my mom doesn't have no money. I'm like, what the frick are you talking about? This is insanity. All her stuff is free and clear. She has a renter in another house. She has Social Security money coming in too. What are you talking about? She doesn't have a note on any properties or homes or anything. No credit cards, no nothing. How does she not have money? This is insanity. Ah, man. Feel your pain with probate. Had to correct years of bad paperwork to establish proper ownership. Thank God, no family disagreements. Auntie Val, I'm very happy to hear this. Very happy to hear there's no family disagreements, because that changes everything. So if there's no disagreements, then that means things can get done, and at a lesser price. Because right now, between families, we're going to be spending like I think 10,000. It has to at least be 8 to 10,000 already. We have to have attorneys straight out, and never mind, that's started stuff, and it's over nothing, over just what I talked about. We already know who the house is going to. One of the houses is going to. We know the other house is supposed to be split 3-way. This is incredible. And one of the siblings decided, oh yeah, the insurance stuff, you don't need to know about who's the beneficiary. I'm like, it's either all three of us or one of us. Who she wouldn't have, nobody else would be the beneficiary. What are you talking about? Well, who is it? Oh, beneficiary knows who they are. What kind of answer is that? That's crazy. What the frick? Oh man, I'm glad to hear that for you, Auntie Val. Yeah, it's so sad. My grandma's stuff will not enforce. My cousin abused her power and attorney. Oh, she had the power of attorney as well. Oh, so you know what I'm talking about, Curtis Davis. She did exactly what my sibling has done. Had the power of attorney, so was making moves before the person passed away. Then after they passed away, the power of attorney is no good, but because they were there, they started taking stuff out. Yeah, same thing happened. Yes, my cousin and uncle colluded together. Oh my God. This is crazy. This is crazy. The will specified my sister get X amount, my other cousin house, another member get the house. My cousin claimed nothing was left. Exactly. The probate said my cousin must show itemized list to my sister. Yeah, but how much is all this costing is the question. See, that's what I'm trying to say. You got to pay fees in probate court. This is so sickening, disgusting when you think about it. Lesser price. Yeah, no surveys, attorney, administrator, bond, taxes. Yeah, no. Look, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Professor Auntie Val. It's so disgusting. So disgusting. It could have all been, seriously, a house, you know who it goes to. Jewelry, you know whose it goes to. The rest of everything, including another house, split 3 ways. Easiest damn thing in the world. Something none of us earned, none of us paid for. And one of them has to say, I think I deserve more than anybody else. I don't get this. I really, really don't get this. It's a shame. But now she's listed attorneys, administrator bond, taxes. Yeah, no. Lesser price. Could have worked this out for a few G's. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. How close are you with your siblings, Eric? Well, we were pretty close, but not anymore. I mean, there's 3 of us. 2 of us still close. 1, we don't speak to, neither one of us. One person was terrorized for 3 years, and I wasn't around to be terrorized, but I got in a lot of arguments last year. And so with the withholding of information, like any sibling or any family members, basic questions, if you go to your mom's house and somebody has power of attorney, you just have basic questions. Who's the doctor? What's the insurance? Who's coming over here for rehab? Who's helping mom with her mental capacities are declining? How's she feeling? What's her, just normal stuff. What's the bills around here? What's they look like? What's the, what's going on? Can't get none of that because I got power of attorney. Not me, but my other sibling had power of attorney. So I don't have to give you any info. I can do whatever I want. She's right. She could. So then when my mother passes away, for those 3 years, you had a person looking through, overturning every room, every house, every piece of clothing, everything in the house, looking for anything of value for 3 years. Mother passes away, you bury her. Then you say, hey, where's the insurance? Where's the banking info? Is there a will? No, you don't get any of that info. And we were led to believe there was no will. That's the other thing. So she lied and said to other people there's no will, who told us there's no will. So we just assumed there's no will, and we didn't really care because we just assumed it's going to be split 3 ways. Then when we find out there's a will, then it's like, hey, well, okay, well, give us the will. Oh, no. Why are you in a rush to get the will? We're like, what are you talking about in a rush? Mom passed away. We buried her like a week or 2 ago. It's only natural. And by the way, where's the money in the bank account and the insurance? Who gets the insurance and all that, right? Just normal stuff. But that person still said, I don't have to give you nothing. I don't think that's going to be a good idea. That's not going to be good. That's not going to be family camaraderie at this point. Before you bury the mom, the person's walking out with stuff, taking stuff. By the time you show up, I showed up, Get off the plane, go to my mom's house. I walk in and I'm sitting there going, why is her house half empty? What's going on? We're going to be burying mom or have a funeral tomorrow. Where's her stuff? Okay. No worries. We still have a funeral. Then a week later, we have to bury our mother. So we don't have any discussion about where the stuff is. I'm just like, what's going on? But needless to say, after the funeral, 5-6 days later, what's going on? What's happening? We got problems. So the answer to your question is we were close when we were younger. We thought we were all like talking until last year. One of the siblings was off the rails with the power of attorney trip. Don't want to give up info. And then my brother, he's cool. No issues. None whatsoever. We're all good. My family lawyer said all we can do is put a lien against her, my cousin. Jesus. Are you serious? Are you serious? Because, wow. Jeez. Hey, I don't know what state you're in, but every state has its own ways of doing something. And that's probably the remedy that's, that's the remedy that's going to be. But the question really is, if there was, if they did anything, how come they didn't issue what the remaining part of the estate that wasn't stolen? So why did they make it where they said, all right, you guys got your stuff, so the rest of the family gets their items, and then you can put a lien against them as well for the remaining? That's very interesting because they're all different. My uncle was calling and screaming for me to deny my part to a state. What the? Are you serious? This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm talking about. You didn't earn it. You didn't work your ass off for it. They did, meaning your mom, dad, aunts, uncles, grandparents. Why do you think you deserve anything? You weren't in Jim Crow if you're a person of color. You didn't have to put up with, hey, go over there and drink in that drinking fountain. Go over here and get in the back of the bus. Oh, sorry, you can't stay at our establishment. You can't eat at our establishment. In fact, we can beat on you, do whatever we want, and we'll say you started it. You get locked up. You didn't have to deal with none of that. Well, I shouldn't say not everybody. We still got to deal with that in America. But for the most part, you didn't grow up in the 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 1890s. So when there's something left to you or family, why are you acting like it's all yours? I don't get it. You didn't have to do a scintilla of hard work, and they're giving something to you after all they put in. And then you got people going off the rails. I'm sorry to hear this, man. This is kind of like what happened when I went to the lawyer and my lawyer wasn't there yet. So, and also what was more that pissed me off even more was not only the simplicity of the will, that everything should have just been split 3 ways except for the house and some jewelry. It was that me and the person, my sister, who already stole stuff, said we're co-executors. And her attorney, because my attorney, well, I got to tell you guys a story. I got to tell you the story because this was funny. Wait, the funeral home always asked about insurance. She had no answer. Damn, this is sad. See, therein lies the situation. She didn't want to tell them, and we don't know if there was insurance because she immediately already signed up and wanted to deal with this funeral home. Because where they lived, there's only like 1 or 2 funeral homes, and they were up the street. So it was already locked in. So she knew if she would have given them the info, then I would have the info because the funeral home knows who the siblings are. So we would have been privy to it. So instead, she decides to pay for the funeral out of her pockets or we chipped in too a little. But the point is, she didn't want to do that route. So we still don't know who any of the insurance information. Yeah, talk about sad. And we still don't know where our mother's money went either over the last 3 years. Crazy. Yeah, the land me and my brother now have came from my grandmother's sacrifice. We honor that. Exactly, Professor Auntie Val. That's the way I look at it too. If you're going to receive something, why are we going to fight over it when they actually toiled away through harder times, much harder times than what we had to go through? So I feel you. Very good. Very nice. I got to commend you and your family for acting appropriately instead of sitting there going, I'm going to take this, I'm going to take that. We're going to go to courts and wasting, who knows, 5 to 10s of 20s of thousands of dollars. It's ridiculous over something that's very simple. So anyhow, yeah. So here, I'll end this because we're almost 3 hours in. I got to give you guys a story on why you should have a trust. So we're supposed to have a 10 a.m. meeting at the lawyer's office, which come to find out the lawyer's office is like a block away from the courthouse. So none of that mattered at the time until this. We get in there. It's around 10 o'clock, maybe 10:05. And that's when they present her lawyers comes to me. My lawyer's not there. They go, hey, here goes. They have 2 pieces of paper, 2 copies, one for me, one for my brother. And then that's when our attorney goes, well, you and your sister are co-executors. I'm like, wait, what? Well, then if we're co-executors, then how come she didn't give me the will like 2 months ago? I mean, okay, fine. She ain't talking to us, which means if she's co-executor, she should have been calling us up and saying, hey, this is the will. This is what's going down. That didn't happen. Didn't tell us about this law meeting either. But okay, let's see what the will looks like. And that's when I find out what's in the will. And then I get even more upset, quite frankly. Inside, I'm boiling, going, so she held the will knowing that the house is going to my brother and she's getting jewelry and the rest is split 3 ways. Why is she holding it? This is stupid. That's what's going on in my head. Her attorney goes, yeah, all you have to do is sign right here, and both of you are going to be co-executor, and then your brother has to sign here saying that he acknowledged that he saw this, and that's that. And so I said, hold on. I'm not signing a damn thing. And she's like, what? Then she says, hold on, do you guys want some water? I said, yeah, I need some water. So her attorney gets up to go get water. And I'm sitting there like, is this crazy? So I'm like, wait, where's our attorney at? So now I hit the phone and hit our attorney, and I'm like, get the attorney, and she goes, well, I'm here. I'm sitting in their lobby. Where are you guys at? Are you guys late? We're like, I'm like, are you serious? We're actually down at the end of the hallway in the office, and they're trying to show us this co-executor agreement thing. She's like, what? You did tell me you had an attorney. I said, yeah, but apparently you're on ice. So when she went out there to get some water, she didn't tell my attorney to come down the hallway, straight down the hallway to the end. We're sitting there. Did not tell them. They didn't tell her. So they put her on ice as far as I'm concerned. So then after that, she comes walking down the hallway. Because I told her, hey, just come down at the end of the hallway. They just went to go get us some ice. And when they came out there, didn't they tell you to come down at the end of the hallway? She's like, no. I said, okay, come down to the end of the hallway. We're down there at the end. You'll see. So she comes down to the end of the hallway. She comes and sits down. And she says, I'm the attorney representing whatever. Now, the lady still starts going, yeah, all you have to do is sign this. I was like, I am not signing nothing with the person that's already stolen stuff from our family and our mom's house. Are you serious? How are they going to be co-executor with me? They already stole stuff. Meaning they've already shown that they're not going to do right. I'm like, and she knew I was co-executor, which is the other problem I have. Crazy. Yes, my uncle was mad and thought I just signed it all away. What? All my sister wanted was some of my grandma jewelry, not even the money. But I kept my name in play because my sister not fluent in affairs. Yeah, exactly, Curtis Davis. That's what they were trying to do with me. The attorney was acting all like, "Oh, this is no big deal. You guys be co-executor, and just you and you two, and then your brother." I was like, "What about my brother?" "Oh no, he's not co-executor." "Okay, that's what the will says. Just me and my sister." But I was in my head like, I have a person that had power of attorney who knew what the will said. And there's a bunch of other things that you guys know about that I talked about if you're like SSN Nation members. Because if you guys remember, yes, my cousins hurried the funeral and burial quickly, exactly, before we asked for actual cost versus insurance, exactly. All kind of crazy shenanigans like that too. So you guys remember last year when I was here in the ATL and we were having the family issue where my sister had power of attorney, where my brother lives with my mom at the house for damn near 30 years, whatever, because my mom never wanted to let him leave damn near the baby. But anyhow, all of a sudden she woke up and last year was trying to evict my brother from the house. They all three live in. Well, my sister actually has another house, but the point is, she's trying to evict our brother from a 4-bedroom house where only my brother and my mother stay. So there's 2 vacant rooms. My sister has power of attorney, so I'm assuming she stayed there, which was always sketchy. And then, so they're whatever. Tried to evict him. That's crazy. Get this, ladies and gentlemen, to even talk about this story even further. This is how sick it is. She knew what the will said last year when she was trying to evict him, that our mother was going to give him the house if anything ever happened to him. But she was trying to evict him. So you might be saying to yourself, why would she be trying to do that? Well, there's one thing that actually happened at the time. Part of the house was owned by our father, 25%. So when she pulled the eviction thing, our father said, "You know what? I don't know. I've just been holding this thing just so your mother couldn't just up and sell the house or do something without some other another party." So, in case you don't know this, ladies and gentlemen, another reason why you want to make sure you have things in order. If you are living in a house and another relative has power of attorney or power over the estate and you live there and you do not have title, you are a tenant. You can be evicted. Even though you could have lived there your whole life. Even though your parents or your grandmother said this is going to be yours or you can have it or whatever. You are a tenant. You will be evicted if a person with the power of attorney decides that I don't care about your ass. So when she did the eviction thing, that just triggered where my dad said, "You know what? I'm just going to give the 50%, that 25% to each of you, Eric, and your brother." I was like, all right, cool, fine with me. So now when we go to the court of law for eviction, it did not get dismissed, right? Judge comes up, says, "Hey, what's going on with this eviction thing?" Says chit chats and says something to the nature of, "Well, I'm trying to evict this person. He hasn't been paying me rent," or whatever nonsense she came up with. Yeah, we don't pay rent at the house, so I don't know what that was about. But anyhow, tried to treat him like a tenant. Then, of course, we have to have an attorney again. We do, because you don't want to mess around with this. But probably wasn't needed. But the fact of the matter is, as soon as it came up, because of course the attorney spoke and said, "Hey, Your Honor, the person is actually on title, is on the deed for the house." Immediately, the judge shuts it down and says, oh, so they're not a tenant? They're an owner? Oh, sorry. Any owner cannot get evicted from their house. This is not going to happen. Sorry. Case dismissed. So if my dad would have never transferred it over before the eviction came up, my brother would have been evicted, ladies and gentlemen. Knowing she has a will, now we know she has a will, knowing that the house is going to be given to him if anything happens to our mom. How about that? So then you're thinking, what was going on? So in the meantime, I'm going to give you guys more to the story. This is crazy. So after the eviction, now mind you, again, I'm going to repeat, we don't know about a will. We don't know what the will says. Nothing. So all of a sudden, after that goes down, about a week, 2 weeks later, me and my brother, separate occasions, all of a sudden people are calling me up going, hey, do you want to sell this house at this address? And I'm like, what are you talking about? You talking about my mom's house? Have you lost your mind? My mom lives there. Why would I want to sell the house? I said, that ain't going to happen. And why would you think I'm going to sell the house? All of a sudden, my brother sends me a text. Hey, I'm getting calls from people that are saying that, asking me if I want to sell the house. Are you wanting to sell the house? I was like, no, hell no. What are you talking about? Mom lives there. You live there. What are you talking about? What's happening? Well, come to find out, our sister with the power of attorneys trying to sell the house. One little problem. Me and my brother own part of the house, so the people are calling us up asking us if we want to sell our portion or sell the house because they don't want us to have a portion of the house. Now, keep in mind, once again, I will point out, she already knows if my mother passes away, the house goes to my brother. But here she is trying to sell the house now because if she has power of attorney, guess who gets that money, ladies and gentlemen? You guessed it. So her plan went awry, sadly, because the other side of the coin is our mother passed away 3-4 months later. So her plan on trying to steal even more stuff went awry because now that meant she had no longer power of attorney. That also meant she knew there was a will. So therefore, it was up because either way, with or without a will, she can't do anything. So when you really see the diabolical situation, that's the way I look at it, diabolical, that means she was trying to sell the house to get the money out from underneath me and my brother. That also means that she was trying to, also, I should point out, she was trying to say my brother's a drug addict and that he's mentally unstable, trying to put him in a cycle where you guys may have heard in Florida, the Baker Act, or you may have heard of 5150 in other states, where that means you're going to be in a loop where they just take you and say, oh, you're crazy, and give you drugs and all kind of stuff. That's what she was trying to get him in a spin cycle for the last 2 years, trying to make it seem like he's a drug addict, this, that, and the other. Obviously, clearly not. But it didn't matter. She was still trying to give that narrative to everybody, call the police every 2-3 weeks or whatever, trying to make it sound like something. They'd come over like, what are you talking about? We don't smell nothing. We don't see nothing. There's no proof of nothing. You got video here, roll tape, what's going on? But still, that little cycle. So I was like, why is she doing all this stuff that came up? You're sitting there, why is all this going on? Well, guess what else that I'm going to have to tell you, and then we're going to wrap this up and see what we're going to talk about for the next 5 minutes. But guess what else? Here's the other thing. The reason why, if something happens to my mother, the house goes to my mother. If something happens to my brother, the house goes to my sister. How is that for an effed up situation? Now we understand why all this stuff for the last 3 years, all this chaos and all this stuff is happening. And they want me to be co-executor with that person. I don't think so. This crazy, your lawyer put on ice. You got it. Yep, got to be on the deed. Exactly, James Way. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream. And you have the icon because you can be here. Members only can be in the chat room tonight. So thank you so much for being here. And yep, I'll say it again. Got to be on the deed. Exactly. So another reason, these are things that you would never think. I didn't even fathom it. I thought if a family member lived at a house and it was like 10 years, 15 years, and your mother or grandmother said, okay, it's all right for the last 10, 15 years. I thought it was fine. I didn't even think anything about you could evict somebody. I was just like, and to think that a sibling would try to do that to another sibling is also equally reprehensible. So it's kind of weird. So anyhow, with all these little nuances that happened, now we figured out after seeing the will why all this activity was going on for the last 3 years. She was trying to already off stuff, steal stuff, do everything she could because she knew if anything happened to our mom, everything split evenly, so to speak. And she was like trying to take it all. It's crazy. She planned the whole thing, tried to evict an owner. Exactly, Curtis Davis. Like I said, that triggered the situation. He wasn't an owner originally until she did the eviction. And then, like I said, our dad put us both on the deed on his portion, and that made us both owners. So then she couldn't do anything, but she tried. And then she tried to sell it. So what her idea was, she was going to evict him. He wouldn't have been an owner. I wouldn't have been an owner. She still would have tried to sell it, but she tried to sell a portion because one guy called me up and said, hey, we're going to buy the one portion. So do you want to sell your portion? And then that's when I told him, I said, well, I'm not selling my portion, but you might want to call my brother and ask him if he wants to sell his portion. I don't think so. But, and my brother lives there. And the dude's like, wait, what? We just thought there was just another person. And wait, we're not going to be interested in getting a portion and inherit tenants. He just knew straight out. He's like, so she even tried to sell just our mother's portion because she had power of attorney. That's how sick this is. So needless to say, my blood was boiling when this person sitting there going, here, her lawyer's going, here, it's going to be all right. Please sign the co-executor agreement with your sister. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. Have you lost your mind? Oh my God, it's like a bad soap opera. I can't believe this. Hey, Auntie Val, I couldn't believe it either. I couldn't believe it either. Because when you guys know, you were with me last year when I was here in Georgia saying we're having arguments with our sister and she's doing all this crazy stuff. It wasn't making any sense. It wasn't, because we always figured mom didn't have a will. So we're like, okay, it can't be if mom passes away because we just split everything evenly. So we're like, it doesn't make any sense. But then now, after we see what actually the will does say, now we're like, oh, I'm like, oh, and then my brother, he's like, oh, yeah, I see what's happening now, too. I'm like, all this stuff was not making any sense. Why is somebody calling us up to sell the house? What the frick? What's happening with this? We've never had a discussion about selling mom's house. She's still alive. What the frick? All that's crazy. Crazy. All right. So that just leads to one thing. We're 3 hours in. It's overtime. It's past midnight. But please make sure you guys get your trust in order. All right. Tell your parents or your grandparents, please tell them to get a trust. Set it up in order so you don't have some shenanigans going on. All right. And we're still going to have shenanigans, unfortunately, because if they do rule co-executor, I'm still going to figure out, well, how's this going to actually work? When we already have a person that's been stonewalling, been stealing, been doing everything in their power not to provide us any information or answers to anything. How's this going to go down? It's going to go down with wasted money. That's what's going to happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And remember, it's going to be hard out here. So make sure you protect yourself and your family by getting a trust. Make sure you protect yourself and your family from this coming carnage by getting streams of revenue, streams of income, passive income, making some investments now when the markets are down. It could be the wisest thing that you're going to do because the greatest transfer of wealth is happening again. You have an opportunity. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving. And I'm going to be out.